Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Crit Seekers. See, I didn't mess up the intro this time, you guys. You should be really proud of me.
Wow. By saying that you
one time in 1 year.
Intro's not over yet, Mason.
Anyway,
It's only
thanks
February.
again for joining us this week. We're happy to have you back. Happy for you to come in and join us on this session after last week's intensities. If you haven't listened to last week's episode,
what are you doing?
stop listening now and go do that. Because
We'll wait.
spoilers. Yeah. All right, everyone, just pot.
We're waiting.
I'm waiting.
Anyway, hope everyone out there has had a good week. Hope all you guys have had a good week. I'm excited to jump back in after the shenanigans and things that unfolded last week. So, without further ado, let's go into the recap. Do I have to do it in my World War II announcer voice?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, now that you said it, yes.
Yeah.
Last week on Crit Seekers.
Keep going.
I'm almost there.
The Talented Seven emerged from the collections vault, only to find that their party member Vlad somehow went missing. War. No, I can't think of what I'm trying to say and try to do that. Okay. Anyway,
It was so good.
so you
You
guys.
like script it out.
Yeah.
I
yeah,
do.
that's-
Next time I'm going to make a script. We'll continue this. That'll be a
Okay,
new edition.
okay.
Anyway, so you all exited out of the collections vault after your face-off with the Mummy Lord who took Kaya's life in that fight, being brought back by Nimue and her powers gifted to her by Varuna. Upon exiting the vault itself, a rift opened and two feminine figures stepped out and basically grabbed Vlad by the ear and pulled him into the portal before you guys could do or say anything, and it shut. No idea what happened to our laughable orc barbarian. You went back to the estate, received your reward, and made your way back to, I believe you headed back to the Naga's Nest. DeWitt took a little side detour over to Skims, where he enjoyed a night of revelry and some mutual singing. And the rest of you bedded down, slept for the evening, and a lot of you had some strange occurrences in the night.
Wow.
Because now I give you PTSD when you go to sleep. Seven, you were
I hate my
visited
dreams.
in your dream by your brother, who asked you to consider maybe coming back to your family. The stream ended with him seemingly trying to use whatever methods or space that he had found you in there to locate you, and you were able to push that out. He knew he was not able to see. Tail. Well, I guess we'll start with Nimue, because Nimue, in your dream, Varuna came to you and basically told you that something had been going on with Tail, and she couldn't see it. Something within her vision was blocking this, some darkness, and asked you to try and help your friend. You guys all awoke that next morning to Nimue had gone to confront Tail about this. And Tail, during this confrontation, something came over you and you lost control of yourself and your senses and began to attack Nimue. Hearing this, Nyx and Kaya, I believe, burst in the door. Seven was a little behind. Or no, sorry, it was Seven
I
and
was
Kaya,
there.
or Nyx, and Kaya didn't hear because you were down getting food. That's right. Seven and Nyx burst in just as a burst from your symbol of Varuna, radiant energy, had thrown Tail back, kind of shaking Tail out of this haze that he had been in. And in realizing what he had done, he shattered the window and ran. Seven gave chase, eventually following Tail to the Witherwood, and just a ways in, caught up to Tail, and they spoke about things involving gods and their desires and choices for the underlings that they wish to control. And Seven made his peace and returned back to you all, shortly followed by Tail, who had, in almost running, witnessed the great owl that had been following Nimue that she had described, and only she had seen until this point. It coaxed you back to your group. Tail, you went back. You got an interesting new addition to your tattoo back piece, and made up with the rest of your party, and you proceeded to inform them that you had been lying to them for quite some time.
Surprise, surprise.
And after that discussion, you all decided it was about due time to leave Mid-Cross, which you exited the gates and made way for Bartholomew's Tower. And as you were headed there, you witnessed what seemed to be the Eternal Citadel calling Irfan back for some other part of his journey. And he gave you all a little bit of a speech and thanked you all and stepped into the Eternal Citadel as the door faded and closed on the outer walls of Mid-Cross, leaving you all now down a warlock and a barbarian. You all kind of made peace with this and turned and headed for Bartholomew's Tower. So that is where we pick up today's episode. You guys are outside Mid-Cross. It's maybe like early afternoon or like around noon at this point in time. Not a lot transpired throughout the morning other than your conversations. So what would you all like to do?
So many spells.
I multi-classed into Warlock and Barbarian, so
Oh, good.
now that
Yeah,
role
so
is
now we're
filled.
fine. You guys are
quadruple
warlock,
multi-class.
Barbarian, sorcerer, paladin.
Exactly.
Can you triple class?
Yeah,
Was-
technically, but
Yeah.
You can
Technically,
multi-class. You just
you
have to
can
meet the
do-
stat requirements for
What
them.
was this friggin' D&D edition 2 Bard?
yeah,
God.
pretty much.
Took a while to say that, huh? But
For those who don't know, to become like a Bard in like second edition of D&D, you needed
like
to multi-class
everything.
like 5 different
Yep.
classes.
Yeah, you had to go through a bunch of different.
It was stupid.
I think there was only like wizard, fighter, and like a ranger or
Yeah.
something like that. And to get into the other classes, you had to multi-class a bunch of times.
Yeah, it was rough.
Fucking bullshit.
Like go down different weird level paths.
I
Anyway,
just want to sing and tell people that they're dumb and have them take damage from it.
yeah,
now to study to become a
I want to mock them
wizard.
viciously.
Yeah.
Right. Anyway, back on track. You guys you're making your way to Bartholomew's Tower. Is that
Yeah.
still the
Game plan, yeah.
game plan?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Doesn't take you too long knowing where it is. You cross through the kind of fields outside of Mid-Cross and make your way up to his what appears on the outside to be kind of a small, stout stone tower. What would you like to do? Looks exactly the same as the last time you were here.
We'll just knock on the door.
Okay. You knock, and a second goes by, and again there's that. And the stone creature to the side of the door stands up and holds out his hand.
I grab it
with
before
the stone.
Tail can.
My hand's just like
Foiled
half reached
again.
out. Like, I just pick up a different rock on the ground.
Okay.
Bartholomew, it's the Talented Seven again.
Bartholomew, this is the Taelented Seven.
There's no response on the stone.
I'll just go to try to open the door.
The door, you try the handle and it's locked, and you kind of shake it for a second and step back. Nothing.
Bartholomew, have we annoyed you enough that you don't want to listen anymore, or?
Still no response. You kind of all stand there looking at each other for a second, and then the door kind of...
That's
And you can
ominous.
see one of the flumps kind of floating in the doorway. It looks to you and goes, "Please, help him."
Oof.
Oh no.
Okay, let's go.
Okay.
I walk
okay.
inside.
This way. Turns and starts to float down the corridor towards where you remember the study being.
Okay. I'll
Follow.
follow.
Okay.
Does anything look out of place?
Make a perception check.
There it is.
Ooh.
11.
Nice.
Nice. That's a +3.
As
guys.
you're-
I rolled an 8.
Wow.
That's pretty high for you.
Yeah.
As you're kind of going through the hallway towards the study, looking around, just paying attention to this, and you can see maybe a couple of rooms before the study itself. On the ground, there's what appears to be like a puddle of water. And the flump leads you into the study itself, and you can see like the form of the simulacrum of Bartholomew slumped in the chair, just kind of standing with a strained look on his face, and like very slowly lifts his gaze up to you and says, "Have you brought my tea? Oh, where's the red one?"
He on long journey to get exotic tea.
Good. I could use something stronger than what
Can
I
we
have
find
now.
some for you here? Where do you keep your tea?
Kitchen,
Okay,
if you please.
I'll go look for some tea, I guess.
Okay.
What's wrong? Why? What happened?
I think the other me, I think something is fading. Our connection seems to be growing weaker. We've already lost two of the others that, well, were the most recent additions. I fear I'm next.
Is there a way that we can help?
Is there a way to strengthen the connection?
Apart from me strengthening the spell again, whoever it is.
Okay. Well, don't worry, Barty. We found map to where we think real Bartholomew is. So
Well, that's
we are off
wonderful.
to find him.
How long do you think you have?
Oh, not long. But it's fine. It's fine. I was getting sick of it anyway. Can't even read a damned book. Yeah. You see him kind of shakily reach a hand over to the glass of wine that's on the counter, or the little stand next to him. And he picks it up with his hand. His hand shakes and it slips and shatters on the ground. And he stares at it for a second. He goes, I should probably stop my drinking habit too. That's fair. So, what are you all doing here again?
Well, we came to tell you that we were going to go look for the original Bartholomew.
Oh, that's wonderful. Where is he?
He in place called possibly the giant spine.
Oh,
And then
good.
Belly
What's
of
that?
Behemoth. It's mountain.
I think that
Yeah.
this is kind of a lost cause.
Don't worry, we have cool map now, so we will save you soon.
Oh. Well, that sounds wonderful. Anyway,
Do you mind if we use your all one last time?
it's
Or
not
two.
mine. Might as well.
Kaya? You said you had something to show us.
Yeah.
Nix, you easily find the kitchen and brew some tea and kind of come back in at this point. And
Give it to him.
he takes it with his shaky hands, but kind of grasps it with both of them. You can see him shaking and pull it up to his mouth and like take a sip of it. And well, this isn't my usual tea, but I quite like it. And kind of turns to you, and you can see what looks at first like beads of sweat. You can see kind of like traces of water dripping from his head. You pretty much know it's not sweat. Kaya, you walk over and
I think your
Touch
tea
the
is
water.
melting him.
The tea is too hot.
Too hot.
Barty the snowman.
It's fucked up.
Yeah.
Too soon.
Have some bedside
even
manner.
dead.
Too
It's still
early.
happening right now.
Oh, whoops, sorry.
He's right there.
I don't care. I'm not real.
Existential crisis.
Are any of
So Kaya steps
That's really
forward and
real.
places her hand on the orb, and the ceiling starts to shift and change.
So, let's see, an image of, an image of this man who has very long, black hair that's like pulled back in like a half up, half down bun. He's got a well trimmed goatee, like forest green eyes. He's got a scar above his left eyebrow. Like very well built. And then there's me next to him, but I don't have the white hair. It's all the red hair that's at the tips of my hair. And my skin is not what it is now. It's like normal human flesh tone. And me and him are sitting in a field of yellow flowers watching the sunset. So I just stare at that for a few seconds. And then quickly I'm gonna change it to the day
Talking to your mic.
that happened. The day that happened. The thing.
The actual stones?
The first, like, when my connection was ripped, that one.
Okay. So you all see the ceiling start to swirl again, and kind of through like a dark smoke, shapes start to emerge. And you can see Kaya kind of laid out on the ground, or not on the ground, but on this stone table that's propped up a little bit, like at a, oh my God, what's that angle? Like 45-degree angle. And you can see kind of outlined all around her are stones that are very familiar to you, Nyx, in a circle all the way around. And there are runes tracing from each stone, and almost like a geometric pattern that connects all the stones inward to her body and to this stone table that she is on. You can see her there looking very weak, still the like normal skin tone, but like she looks malnourished and kind of ragged. There is another female form that stands next to this table, a very beautiful woman, like almost surprisingly just stunning woman. Seven, you recognize this woman.
Mom?
You can't hear anything that's said, but you can see her lips move, and she kind of waves her hand, and the stones, the geometry around them start to like, and the stones start to light up as the geometry starts to trace with some type of arcane energy. And as it builds in the stones around them, there's this like surge inwards, and you can see Kaya's body like strain and pulse, and like her back arches, and you can see screams of pain. You can't hear any of this. And this bright glowing light. And this lasts for probably about 2-3 minutes. And then there's this like really vibrant kind of like, it starts really low flashing of like multiple colors, and it gets really vibrant, and then and this spark just glows. The stones go out, and you can see almost like smoke settling around Kaya's body itself. And for the most brief instant, you see what looks like this radiant string that comes from her heart almost, and a piece of it snaps, and they drift apart, and a piece drifts back down to her, and you see her fall limp on the table, and that's where your memory of it fades, and the ceiling starts to turn back into just mist.
Just a quick question. What color were her eyes when in the first scene?
I don't think your eyes changed from it. What was your original eye color?
They're the orange
Just the orange.
color. Yeah,
Okay.
they've always been orange.
The woman I recognized, what are any more details of her? I mean, I'm certain I know which one it is, but
I mean, it was mother.
okay. Figured.
She wore just common but elegant clothes. I mean, she wasn't like dressed any different or.
Yeah. I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah.
Damn, dude, your mom's a MILF.
Oh, I know.
I mean, look at all of her children that come from different fathers.
Yeah, seriously.
She gets around.
I'm sorry that happened to you, Kaya.
Do you know what happened? What was that exactly, Seven?
Do any of us understand any of those runes?
I just wanted to say that crystal you found, that's what they're used for. At least as far as I know. So don't let that get into the wrong fucking hands. I will
I
not
won't,
go
that's-
through that again.
That's why I wanted it back. Because I know something terrible is happening with those things. I didn't know.
Is that their only use?
It's fine, you didn't know, but I'm just saying.
Is it what?
Is that their only use? Is for that, like this?
Only
I
use.
only-
don't know. I didn't know that they had any use. I just knew that they were valuable.
So does this mean that Callista is using those rocks and working with Seven's mother?
I don't know. I think we need to find out. I think maybe after we go get Bartholomew, that should be our next
How long ago did this happen?
priority.
You said
Like,
2.
yeah, 2 to 3 years. I don't really remember exactly when. I just know.
And no one can read the like arcane symbols. they're using?
If you're proficient in Arcana, you can make an Arcana check, but the DC is pretty high.
Okay.
I'm not.
I crit 22.
Hell yeah. That's what I'm fucking.
Sorry.
What is the final total?
22, yeah.
It I wouldn't say they're familiar to you, but looking at them and kind of understanding a little bit of the geometry themselves, it looks like some type of like alteration, but there's elements of like enchantment in the writing as well. But what the whole language of this geometry means, it still fades. Like you're not quite sure, but you can see that there's elements of that.
Okay. Can I like can I just copy down what I can at least kind of see?
Make an intelligence check or unless, I mean, you can ask
Copy
Kaya
what?
to
I was just
repeat
asking.
it and try and copy down what you can see. A lot of it is covered. You can copy down as much as you can. I mean, she's on a lot of the geometry. She's laying in the middle of this circle, so you
Never
can
mind.
copy down
then I
like
would- yeah.
okay,
If I can't see the full thing. Then
yeah.
no.
Well, some of the runes on the sides might still be useful.
Sure.
Okay, yeah, easy enough. You can copy it down.
Would
Okay, cool.
I recognize? I mean, I'm not looking to see if I know the meaning because I doubt that I would. But have I seen them before in my home?
You've never come across anything like that. I mean, you've seen the stones used, or not used, but like you've seen the stones and they're raw and they're processed forms. You know that they're valuable, but I mean, this escapes you. You didn't know that they could be used for something of that nature.
Okay.
And you'd never heard even tell of anybody speaking of. Well, actually, make a history check.
Could I guidance this? Can I see Nick's thinking really hard?
I have to say no on this one.
Damn. That's why I asked.
Yeah.
17.
17. Not this specific. You've like thinking about it and seeing this happen up there. You remember a conversation that you had overheard just kind of wandering the halls one night and heard the voices of your father speaking with Callista, and speaking about the magical properties of these, and Callista basically informing him that these stones are more valuable and more powerful in their arcane essence than anybody in the mines in your family had any idea for. And that was why that was kind of part of their deal, was her getting to study these stones.
Do these stones have a name? Like, do they have a type? Do you know?
Do I know?
Like they have to be like a type.
Specified. Is that something I just said
mean,
gemstones.
I have a name for them.
Would I know that? I would assume
You'd
I would
know what their
that.
name is, yeah. They're called Duririum.
Duririum?
Mm-hmm.
I relay that.
Can you spell that for me?
Like the raw processed element, but like the stones itself is Duririum. So it's DERR
DERR.
IRIUM.
Derrierium.
Delirious.
Duririum.
Is there another word for them, or is it just that?
The processed forms, you're not sure because this like the Duririum was, and Nyx, you would know this was kind of discovered by the gnome clans, and eventually kind of the mine itself was taken over by your
My
family.
family?
Yeah, and they started to learn how to process it, but that like they discovered how to process it and take it from that raw form, but they had never really had an intention for it. It was just like almost like an accidental discovery, and it blew up with like, the trade and acquirement of this processed stones. And I mean, you had never like taken up enough in the company to learn where they were, like who was buying them, what they were being used for. You just kind of overheard those things. You were kind of working up to that when things happened.
So the processed version is not the same name as the raw version.
Not that you know of, but they didn't have a name for it was all just Duririum, but it could be called something else. Not sure.
Kaya,
Yeah.
was that the first time you met that woman, my mother?
No.
When was the first?
She came to my temple, and I don't really remember the conversation that happened, but I remember she came to my temple, talked to my parents, and convinced them to have me go with her, and that was it.
How long ago was that?
2-3 years ago.
Oh, so just quite literally right before this incident. So you didn't know her for like years or anything?
No. It was just right before.
How old are you, Kaya?
I'm 26.
And when you were 24, your parents got to give you to other person?
Well, I mean, I grew up in my temple. I never really left. I had no reason. And like that whole temple, they're all family. And
Where is this temple of yours?
It's in Ashgar.
Where is that on the map again?
Ashgar
It's
is
right
towards the
below
north,
Port.
like northeastern. It's right below Port Greymount.
That one.
Kind of more towards the coast.
It's like past the Giant Spine Mountains, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's like at the tip of the northern tip of the giant spine almost.
Oh, okay.
Who be that man you showed us?
I was going to marry him. And then all that happened. I came back sometime later, and he had fallen for someone else.
I'm sorry.
Kaya, roll intelligence check.
Roll a death saving throw.
Hello, are you me? You can't say anything about yourself without dying?
Rip you.
5.
A 5. Okay. There were, you would at least remember that it wasn't just the woman who came. There was a couple others with her, but
Was it the two you described, your friend? The two you described to me when we first...
I believe so.
Yeah?
Mhm.
Right. I did know that.
So
Well, I mean, I guess with your situation and what happened, you would probably remember when your parents were approached, that it was almost like something shifted in them and clicked after they spoke to one of the other women who were with that first woman. And she had long, silky, dark red hair. Like wavy, almost fake looking.
Yeah. 7.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure I met one of your sisters.
Oh, I'm pretty sure of it as well. Who was the other one?
She had green eyes, right? No?
No.
No?
I know what eyes she would have had. But, other than her and my mother, Who is the other one?
Sorry.
I don't know. Did I give you the eye color? Because it was the one you were looking for, the person with green eyes.
Yeah, you gave me the eye color.
Because he was involved later.
There was.
It's okay. I
Your own
understand.
backstory, and you're like,
It's a little hard. It's a little hard to remember your traumas.
That's me.
yeah.
But I do know Nyx. I definitely saw your daughter. She was there too.
Wait,
Really?
Mm-hmm.
was she already with the woman, or was she with you?
Yeah, she was with the
What
woman
did-
that
what did
she
she-
called her mother.
What did she do? I mean, did you see her do anything while she was there? Or was she just observing?
Oh, if she had called her mother, she wasn't just observing. If the other two,
I think. I don't know for sure, but I think. I mean, since you know those crystals, she might have supplied them.
But
How would
wasn't
she know though? Because she.
I don't.
wasn't she a baby when
Yeah.
you left? But I know that. I think I thought I
No,
knew
I,
that.
I,
Okay.
I told you guys that.
Okay, good.
well, I know the colors of their eyes. The one with red, long hair. Her eye color is the same as one of the women who now leads your previous group.
Huh?
What?
Of the salvation?
Wait, what?
Yeah,
It's not
she
10%.
her
Right.
rights changed a lot.
We talked about this. About
Yes.
How your
hair.
sisters joined the people who were trying to.
Oh
look
no
for
no
us
no
in
no
the
no no
pillars.
no! Let's not get any ideas of them joining them.
Oh, more like
Leading
them
them.
using them.
Yes.
Probably.
What? Do you know what their purpose is? It seems like your whole family is involved.
I know the general idea. However, Mother was very secretive.
So the
Well, what is the general idea?
It sounds to me like they be finding people with certain types of blood, like angel blood or something. And then people can cast spells,
Honestly, though,
strong people, and they're kidnapping them.
I have no idea as to why Kaya has such a connection with my family.
You didn't answer my question though.
I know.
Cause he going to die. If he answer.
he can't talk too much about his family, or about his past, because he'll
Maybe
die.
don't talk about it. Can you write it down?
No.
I think if they know he talking, I think they know if he writing.
Do they have a connection to you somehow?
My family? Of course they do.
Are they looking for people with special blood?
We were never told anything in specific to look for anyone.
I mean,
Insight check.
they might,
Okay.
they took my blood
I want to see if you were actually told that.
Well,
and they,
Never mind. It's like a 10. 10.
Okay.
No, anything that me and my siblings ever did were always under the commands of Mother. There was very little that we did of our own volition.
Are you happy that you're not part of them anymore, or
Happiness is a feeling I haven't felt in quite some time. But it is different.
okay?
pardon me for asking this, and if I've stepped a line for asking this, but is Phaedra fully gnome?
Yes.
Her father's a gnome.
Yes.
Is he still alive?
No,
I'm sorry.
Do you
it was,
have
it was a long time ago.
do you have some sort of special blood that they would like Phaedra for?
I mean, I don't know. I know that Alar said that she had incredible magical abilities, but I mean, I guess I have magical abilities, but I wouldn't say that I'm something special.
How did you get your magical abilities?
Would that be from Alar? Is there anything innate with that?
A lot of it's like just gnome blood in general, and you, if I remember correctly, hadn't just an interest in those type of things. Alar was more the rogue side of things.
Okay,
The magical
that's what I
stuff
wanna make,
was-
'cause that's not a question I ever answered.
Magical stuff was just stuff that you kind of like learned and then started practicing, and yeah.
God, I should have. I mean, I guess it's always just kind of been in my family. I don't know. We've always just had some innate magical powers. Maybe it's because we grew up around those crystals. I don't know.
Maybe. Well, I mean, if your sisters have something to do with the salvation, and the salvation is looking for Tail and I, is there something connected with that? Why is your family basically connected with everybody in this group except for DeWitt? That we know of.
I honestly have absolutely no idea. I haven't been a part of my family for quite some time.
14 years, maybe?
14 years, maybe.
Years of Kanku.
So,
Well, like, cause they grab like Kaya golden something blood that she said she had, and I don't know. Do you have something special? That's why they look for you.
I don't think so. I mean, I don't think it's not terribly odd to be a Ganassi, but not common.
That's fair.
I mean, it was definitely an anomaly in my hometown, but I don't know. I thought that the Salvation was looking for us because Salen was a controlling prick.
Yeah.
Are you certain they are still looking for you?
Well, that's what Skim Seltzer said, is that
They
as of 2 or
looked
3
for
months ago,
us.
they were asking around for us.
Yes, I know they were asking around for you. But does that mean they are specifically targeting you?
They
Or
targeting
this group?
people.
I don't know. I mean, I don't think they know that we part of other group now.
I don't claim to understand.
Oh, I know they wouldn't. It's not they who I fear. It is those who are controlling them.
Well, yeah.
So, what I'm asking is, do we know that the Salvation is looking for you two in specific, or are they looking for you two because they know you are traveling
Well,
with me?
We have not been advertising that we've been traveling with people, especially around here in the wilds, until within the last week or so. I don't claim to know the motivations behind the Salvation, but I mean, when we left, it was kind of a huge blow to Zalen's ego, and he's a narcissistic asshole who thought that we were his belongings, that we belonged to him and were supposed to do what he asked of us, and so when we left, it was quite the blow.
Why do you think they would call themselves the Salvation? Salvation from what?
Probably from
I don't
themselves
know.
or some other egotistical.
I feel like that is...
It's definitely odd.
Should we travel while we talk about this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are there any last thing people want to show on the crystal before we
Yes,
leave?
I would like to try one thing. However, I'm quite certain it won't work.
Do you really want
But-
to do that again?
No, this one is a little different. I I know you said that I couldn't remember when I tried to think about it again.
Mhm.
But that's why I want to see if this orb will help. The masked man. I want to get a picture of him again.
The masked man.
Yeah, in the dark robes that happened to be there
Ah.
during the ritual that I didn't know existed.
But you don't remember that whole.
I know, that's
journey.
why I said I don't know if it'll work. But I figured maybe the orb might. That whole line right here is starred because I fucking hate this dude and I don't even know who he is.
You touch the orb and the mist start to kind of swirl and shapes start to take, but then they almost like disintegrate back into the mist.
Well, it was worth a shot.
Well, should we get going? I think we have a lot of traveling to do.
Yep.
Okay.
Let's go.
Let's
Okay.
go.
You turn
Stay
from
safe,
staring at this.
Barty.
You say that and turn, and there's just a puddle on the chair.
I'm going
And the
to.
teacup sits on the chair, spilt as well.
I'm going to get a container of some sort and shape water him
The teacup.
into that and like cover it.
Okay.
Were those staffs that they were holding melt?
Huh?
Melt. They were holding like these coal staves, right? Did they melt too?
He didn't have it in this room. Yeah.
Can I take a quick look around just to see if there's anything that will help us on our like quest to the giant spine? If there's anything else more pertaining to that.
To
Just
like
that region.
information.
Yeah, that region and anything that might like a book of
Sure.
that
Make an
region.
investigation check.
Get nice and even. Oh, it's butt. That's pretty good. It's 22.
Nice. Kind of going back to the table that you had found the original texts open that had that you had found like the information of him going to the giant spine and looking in the shelves that are next to this table. It doesn't take you too long to come across a book that is not necessarily particular to the giant spine mountain, but is more of a bestiary of sorts of like the creatures that have been documented and exist in the wilds. And it does have in the index, kind of looking through differentiations as per the region of different creatures, and just kind of going through the mountainous regions. There, it talks of there being like stone giants that inhabit a lot of the mountain ranges in the area. There are these massive gargantuan avian creatures that seem to nest towards the tops of the peaks.
That's gonna be a problem.
There, in some of the mountains, it's very rare, but occasionally there has been sighted these almost reptilian creatures that seem to possess some type of elemental connection and affinity to like to electricity, and like almost these giant lizard-like creatures. Very rare sightings, but they have been seen within the mountains themselves.
Electric Lizalfos.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking and imagining.
Let's see.
I'm gonna take that with me.
Okay.
Can we take this crystal?
It probably
we
only
should do
projects
that
up into this specific. It's probably enchanted to only work specifically here.
We
Only
probably-
take stuff
It
that
does
will
sit in
help.
like, not an altar, but like there's like a holder for it that it sits
We
in.
probably should leave all of Barty's stuff.
Barty
Yeah,
in
he will
there.
know when he gets
I'm only
back.
I think that this
Qatar.
could help us though. I'll give it back to him when we save him.
I think that's fair.
Okay, let's go.
The book, or you're taking the crystal?
Oh,
Book.
Okay.
wait, maybe we should go and collect some of the herbs that he has in his garden, if they would help.
Yeah, I know he has tons of stuff that would help.
Well, let's go take a look.
Boom! Steal everything.
Great.
I'm gonna look for one of the staves.
We put the whole house in the haversack.
If only we still had the portable hole.
Okay. So you you make an investigation check. You guys are heading to the garden.
Yeah.
So you step into the garden and see the same, just like the sprawling tree, almost forest-like, this large, what doesn't even appear to be a room. Like there's the sky, there's everything. It looks like an actual like space outside. Is there anything specifically that you're looking for?
Well, we know that he had some of the materials with which to make mana potions, correct?
Yeah, we know he has pretty much everything we could
16.
ever want. So
Well, let's specifically grab a bunch of the ingredients for mana potions.
okay, let me find out what they are.
I have them somewhere in here.
I have them too.
Okay, good. I'd have to go pretty far back in my notes.
Whoops.
One sec. I do want some like goblin berry bushes and like some healing potion stuff. For sure. And maybe some spellbane if there is some here.
Hold on. Me being smart pulled up these sheets first this time, so they're ready.
Wow.
'Cause
We are so
figured
predictable.
You guys would do something like this. Sorry, I'm just trying to figure out what's in.
About the ingredients. Oh, okay. I've got the mana potion.
Mana potions, yeah, it's Grimflower, Hemthorn, and Light of Mistra. Ice Flower and Light
Blue
of Mistra.
flowers, red thorns.
Okay, so let's do this. So you're looking for ingredients for healing potions. Give me an investigation check together. If someone roll with advantage, or both of you roll separately.
Isn't that what you rolled already?
What kind of check
No,
was
I rolled
it?
for my own.
For
Oh.
healing potions, investigation.
Oh, mine's pretty balls. What's yours? Mine's a -1.
Oh, mine's 0. So
You take advantage.
natural
Nice.
20.
Natural 20. So looking for healing potion ingredients, you easily find enough to gather to make another 3 healing potions.
Like regular healing potions?
Are you looking for regular, or are you
They're all
trying
the
to-
same. So
Right, but you're
so
trying to
journeyman would be
'cause
2
you can
of the
make
ingredients. I can make
greater, right?
A,
Or is it just the regular? I can't remember with journeyman. I can pull that up if I need to.
it's a greater.
Okay, and it's 2 of each, right?
2 of each.
So
ingredient.
you can make 3 regular or 1 greater healing potion
One
with what you
greater and
find.
one regular.
Well, I'll just take the 3 ingredients and then
And,
just
yeah.
keep them in mind.
Okay. Mana potion, same thing.
Natural
Wow.
19.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
You
Got
you
you
find
guys.
enough of the ingredients to make 1 mana potion.
Oh, hell yeah. And we already had some, didn't we? Or some of something.
Yeah,
Does that give
I
you
have-
spell slots back?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have an ice flower and 2 light of Mistra right now.
And then you're wanting to look for spells bane.
yeah.
So another investigation check. You can roll with advantage again.
Oof, 4.
Hold on. Yeah. Unfortunately, you spend most of your time in here looking for those ingredients and going to look for the spells bane. You don't quite come across any.
I was hoping to look for anything that with which I could make like
Yeah, it's a lot higher DC.
witch hazel or like salves and stuff for like burns or scars or any of that sort of thing. to,
Make an
like
investigation
boost my
check.
healer's kit. Okay. Will you help me look for this?
Sure.
Okay, cool. And I'm gonna guide myself as well.
Are you rolling?
I'm gonna roll.
Also, what was that 3rd ingredient besides the light of Mistra and ice flower?
Grimflower.
Thanks.
There's 4.
There's 4 ingredients.
Oh, what are the other 2?
I don't know.
It is
Grimflower and
Grimflower,
fire...
Helmthorn, Ice Flower, and Light of Mistra.
Helmthorn?
I got an 18 for my investigation check.
In 18?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you find enough supplies to restock another 5 goes of your healer's kit. And whatever herbs that you're looking for, you find, enough to be useful in applications for those things.
We said that a use of the healer's kit is worth 10 gold pieces, right?
At 5.
5 gold pieces. Okay. So I get another 5 uses. So
So 25 gold
25.
worth.
Hell yeah.
Yep.
And then other stuff.
Okay. Tail, looking around, you kind of like have a goofy tail moment where you just kind of like pop your head into some rooms and you're like, hello, And there's like, you look around. It takes you maybe 3 rooms till you get to that, almost like the, wow, I just lost the word. The hospital room, the care room that those were in, and the infirmary. Again, in 2 of the beds there are like puddles. You don't see any other simulacrums of Bartholomew as you walk through. But leaned up against one of the gurney beds is one of those staves.
Okay, I'm going to grab it and go. I will make sure I use this to let you know that I am friend of your ice water thing, Barty, and I shall find you. Then I put it in my haversack.
Okay. So yeah, the staff is, it's like that living tree branch with like the small flowers of oranges and violets and red that
tall is the
scatter the
staff
surface.
again?
It's like probably about as tall as Tail. Like maybe goes an inch or 2 above his head. It's almost like, it looks similar to like a Gandalf the Grey staff, but like with like almost like a living tree branch. So there's like growing living mosses and flowers that kind of wrap around. And there's like this aquamarine colored uncut gem in the tip of it.
Okay, then I'm gonna go
Like
find the others.
That faint mist that drifts from it. You're gonna go find the others.
Wait, one last. I want to go back to the crystal ball thing really quick.
Okay.
I'm just gonna try and like slowly play out the images I saw when I touched the dragon skull, so I can make more sense of it.
Okay. So you touch the orb, and instead of like the feeling in your head that almost was piercing, it again, there's just like the ceiling itself flashes the same images.
Flashes too?
Yeah.
Okay.
It doesn't like organize them or make any sense of them because it plays back your memory of things.
Okay.
The last thing I'm going to do is grab some of the flowers that are like around and like grab like a handful of them. And then when we go outside, I'm going to plant some of them and use Bartholomew's, like the simulacrum water to water them and make them grow.
Okay. Like, okay. So you guys exit Bartholomew's tower, and Nimue takes a second, and you can see her kind of plant some of these seeds that she's gathered and take I think the only container around there at the moment was that teacup that had been brought out.
Well, I was kind of hoping for something bigger, but if not, then I can just take it in a bowl, like waterbender style.
Okay. Yeah, you probably would have had to do that.
That's fine.
Yeah. And she kind of weaves the water over and waters the plants with.
Like around like the edge of like the doorway.
Okay.
So that way when we come back, there will be flowers sprouting.
Okay. I like that.
All right. Well, shall we get going?
Yeah, let's get out of here.
Okay. First things first, I'm going to cast Death Ward on 7.
Ooh, yay.
Because you're still pretty weak, aren't you?
I'm still at 2 levels of exhaustion.
Oh, only 2 now?
Only 2 now. I know, right?
Most people will go a whole game without ever getting to 2.
Yeah, I know. Watch me spend the rest of this whole campaign at least with 1 level of exhaustion. Just constantly not shutting up about my family.
The last final fight of our last campaign, you went in with what?
I went in with 3 levels of exhaustion. I took those shrooms.
Oh, yeah. Why does this always happen to you?
What is wrong with you? Stop this.
I like being exhausted. I like cosplaying myself in real life.
Right. Really a self-insert there.
Follow me on my Instagram to see that I never post anything because I'm exhausted all the time.
Oh boy. Okay. You guys spent, I'd say, looking for the herbs. Took you a good little bit. So maybe like probably hour and a half, 2 hours just together. And Bartholomew's looking for everything, doing what you did. So it's early afternoon, say like around 2 p.m. at this point in time. Just kind of glancing at your map, you would know, you'd have a general idea that, so, I mean, what route, what are you guys wanting to take here?
There's that
Okay,
one
somebody whip
city
out
that
the-
we said that we are going to, right?
You're going to go to the city first.
Well, okay. Nobody can read anything.
So Methanor, the Elven city,
Yeah.
That lies about 150 miles from you. So travel is going to be about 6 days.
We inquired about horses, did we not?
You did not.
We did not.
Let's go.
Well, I'm not going back into it.
I don't know that we should do that again because
You spent
The last
gold.
horses
Or
that
wait,
we
or
had
did you guys
ran
get the
away.
horses for free last time?
We got
them
the horses for free.
yeah, but that might
But
just
they all-
happen
yeah,
again.
They'll
Yeah,
all
rip
just-
horses though.
They'll all just run away from us. Animals don't like
It
us.
might just be better to
But
save
Flicker
some
likes
money.
us,
That's it.
and Virgil likes us.
That's because I sang a song about Flicker.
I don't know if Virgil likes us.
Well, Virgil likes me.
Oh, Virgil like me too.
We're the Taelented Seven because it's the 6 of us and Flicker.
Yeah.
Aw.
All right. So we're going to
Rip Valley. We've never counted
Elvish
him.
City.
Oh no, Kaya doesn't count. Valley count.
It's Flicker and Valley and plus Kaya.
5 and
Kaya and
Kaya.
Seven are the only ones not in the friend book.
No, Seven's in
No,
there.
I
in
finally
it.
got in
Just
there.
me. It's just me. It's fine.
You have to be in the friend book in order to be a part of the Taelented. It's a rite of passage.
Anyone need to look at this?
I'm good.
Actually, I'll just. Oh, okay.
Do you want to
We
take
can
the
both-
road to?
Yeah, let's take the road.
But it's safer to take roads.
Yeah, always.
Yeah.
Fine.
Why do you not
So
want
we'll
to?
take 6 days on foot, correct?
Yep.
Okay.
I mean, I
Wait.
don't really care.
Yeah.
I don't know why I sounded so stupid about it.
Fine. Classic Nicks.
Eat fine. We can walk and run and jog
And fly.
and exercise.
If we get anywhere that's like a downhill, I'll just like shape water, like use like the decanter of endless water and just like make like an ice slide.
Then use your shield to slide down.
Yes, exactly. That's what I used to do when I was a kid.
Oh, I did not do that.
We got a lot of snow and there's big hills and stuff around Far Solus, so. lots
What's
of
snow?
sledding. What?
What is snow?
It's like when it's sort of like rain, but it's ice, but it's like soft.
Oh,
It's
that
really-
sounds awful.
It's like soft ice though.
What?
It's like tiny little flakes.
Trust me, you would like it. It's just really cold water.
Eat like
But
sand.
Here, wait. I'll just make some snow. I'll just make a snowball with shaped water.
Okay. You do so.
oh, that's perfect. Can I see it?
Yes, here
And
you
then
go.
I'm gonna take it and throw it at the
Make
wind.
an attack.
Attack roll?
Yep.
Oh, great! I can make
Oh, I
endless.
fucking missed.
She takes it and says, "Here, look at it." And you what? And you look, and she pulls her arm back, and you dodge out of the way. It just flies past your face.
Can I have another
You can
one?
hear it like
Yeah, here's another
shatter
one.
on the
All right,
ground.
I need more ammo.
Nicks, don't do it.
That's a 14 plus
That
whatever.
hits.
So you say, "Nix, don't do it," and right in the face.
There we go. It was better that time.
Do I have to make a wisdom saving throw?
It was so meta. No. You just feel this like cold slush hit your face. It's unlike anything you have felt before from your island.
It's super fun, huh?
Even when you were in Zentos,
I like it?
it was closer to the
Yeah.
coastal regions.
Oh, this is snow. I like it.
I'll just make a bunch of
Does it
snow
come
in his
from the
hands.
sky or what?
Yeah, it comes. It's like rain, but it like falls like a little bit
that's-
softer. Here,
She
I'm gonna start making it
creates
snow
a
above.
bunch of snow into your hands.
Yeah, it's just like kind of snowing gently above you.
I'm learning so much.
It's a lot cooler when there's a lot of it happening all at the same time, and the
everything
snow is
is
just
white.
blanketed in white.
Too bad it's spring.
Like, everybody look outside right now. That's what it looks like.
Yeah, meta note for Utah, we have like a foot of fucking snow outside right now. It was an adventure to get us all to the table tonight. So
Yeah.
thanks for coming, everybody. Jesus.
We almost died.
I mean, we had to unstick your car at brunch this morning. It was
Yeah,
great.
that
Great
was
time.
great.
All right.
That was an adventure. Any hoozles.
I hope to see this snow one day.
We always got a lot of really good snow back at home, and we had a festival on the equinox. That's always really beautiful.
Well, we're heading to the mountains, and we're kind of in the northern.
Well, what time of year is it?
Spring.
Actually,
The
is
mountains
the
do
north.
border the coastline. So it's kind of a weird weather pattern within this mountain range. A lot of the mountain ranges in Feldspire, most of them border the coastline. So most of the mountain ranges have like, and you having not spent a ton of time, but a little time in the Savage Peaks, kind of have an idea. There's there'll be weird days of like crazy sun and humidity, and then there's like almost monsoon-like conditions that'll just pop up over out of nowhere because the elevation and the cold mixed with the air that rises from like the coastline just creates these weird conditions. It'll pop up and then disappear the next day, and you'll have these crazy rays of sunshine.
Yo.
It's magic.
Magic.
Not science.
That doesn't exist in this world.
Oh fuck no! You think I want a world full of
Fucking
science?
magic.
No. Or like
Would I
years
be able
from
to
now.
recognize when those type of conditions are coming on?
Guess we'll find out.
I would, right?
Guess we'll have to find out.
I mean, I lived in that area too.
Guess we'll have to find out.
roll.
I mean, I'm proficient in weather, so
I feel like that should have been a proficiency.
Meteorology.
It's one of my proficiencies.
I'm a hobgoblin meteorologist.
yeah, that was my job. Okay.
I follow the war parties and let them know if it's gonna rain. Don't attack today. It's going to rain.
Dude, you're ruining my backstory.
And back to 7 with sports.
That's a fucking.
You'd think that I would be able to like sense like humidity in the air though,
like
right?
a fantasy news crew.
That's the next one shot idea. Somebody write that down.
Goblin Gobblers won the Super Bowl yesterday.
Oh my god.
Feldspire Chieftains.
That's not PC.
Beat the mob goblins.
Now I have to make fucking in-canon sports, so that's fun.
I honestly kind of imagine it just being like job simulator though. Like I don't know. I just can't imagine it would be too expensive.
No. All
There's
right.
sports teams, and if you can unite the whole continent, we'll just like the campaign will be over, and we'll just have sports matches the entire time, like different teams of
Perfect.
different races fighting each other in football. Except it's not the real football, you know. It's like, yeah,
With swords.
Feldspire football.
it's Feldspire's football.
All right. Look forward to that.
Yep. Campaign's over, everyone. We're playing sports.
Great.
FFL, Feldspire Football League. FFL.
Any hoozles, should we get going?
Yes.
Also, the weather is
All right. So you start down the path, and it doesn't take too long, probably like a few hours travel before you hit a fork in the road, and you can see this one fork that seems a lot less traveled that takes off more to like the southeast that wraps down and starts to be the one road that kind of goes through the Witherwood. It goes to the Witherwood. I wouldn't say the road goes through it. It's very like underutilized. You don't see a lot of foot traffic. There's a lot of grasses and stuff that have overgrown on the path. And the other fork that is a lot higher traveled wraps up and starts to curve away from the Witherwood. You travel, let's see, so it's about 2. So yeah, you travel about the rest of the day. By the end of this day, you make it to what appears to be like to your left. You can see the very end of the massive river that starts to travel up north. It's the one that comes in from the western coast and like sprawls and spiderwebs out to most of the middle of Feldspire. You can see just the end of one of the tracks of this river. And at that point, stars start to come out. The sun starts to set. If you guys would like to make any preparations to set up camp, anything of that nature.
Don't you have that thing that makes it so you can find a suitable
Yes.
Okay.
shelter? I'm gonna go use the restroom.
Yeah. So I
Nimue
cast,
goes to pee in the bushes.
Cast on my spirits to find any suitable shelter. I think it's 150 or 250 feet or something like that. I can't remember. I know it's something
Okay.
50, but
You see,
I think it's 150.
as you're walking, Seven kind of closes his eyes and focuses and reaches out his hands, and these almost like spectral like mist kind of like appear around him and then like shoot off in different directions. It's not too long before they come back. Roll your survival check to find suitable shelter. Or no, they just do it, right?
Yeah, they
That's
just do
right.
it.
Yeah, it's not too long before they come back, and you can see right up nestled a little way. It's maybe 50 feet off the road up next to this little edge of the delta that comes off of this river. There's a nice little like spot that's a little bit raised on the hill right next to the source of water itself. Just a couple of larger oak trees that surround the area. Seems to be a pretty suitable camping spot.
I found something.
Oh, that's cool. That's very convenient.
We haven't had to use it in a while. We haven't had to rough it out in quite some time.
It's only been like 6
Now
days.
we
Quite some time.
What?
can you identify the staff? It was Barty's staff.
Yeah, sure. Let
Good.
me set up the tent first.
Oh,
The tiny hut.
okay.
You have to be in the tiny hut. You can't leave it or it dissipates.
You're right, I forgot. Yeah, I'll identify it. But I'll identify it when we're in the tent. How about that?
Oh, that sounds
and then
good.
we'll set up camp real quick. And before I set up the tent, I'll just do like a quick lap around the area. Look for more plants.
Okay.
If I can do that.
Yeah. Found out that this little nifty sheet that, oh, just a shout out to my boy Dave, who a lot of people probably don't know, but if you ever listen to this, Dave, dude, thanks for this document that I just started exploring. There's like tabs at the bottom that have setups for like where all the plants are and all this. It's crazy. So he made all of this. So my
Is that
buddy
the
Dave.
tattoo artist?
Yeah. If you're here in Utah, oh shit, I don't know his new tattoo place. He just moved.
Oh, he's not at Big Deluxe anymore?
I'll have to find his
Oh,
new
that
place. So
Dave?
if you're in Utah and you want a tattoo from a D&D nerd who's a really good artist, he did my tattoo that we should
did
probably
mine
post
too.
on social media here soon because it's a very cool like D&D related tattoo. But I'll get that information maybe next session. Anyway,
He's done 3 of our tattoos,
Yeah.
actually.
he'll probably do more of mine because he's my dude.
Yeah, he's super cool.
Wait, who's the other one?
Ben.
Ben.
Oh,
did Ben.
He did his
I forgot
Futurama
he did-
tattoo.
yeah, yeah.
Ben's was the first one that he did.
That's how we found Dave.
Yep.
All right. So is there anything specific that you're looking for?
Do I know
you're,
what's
you're
in this
kinda-
area?
You're in like grasslands right now. You can, well, you can't see. That's a little ways away, but I wouldn't even say plains. It's more grasslands.
I'll look for some more azure leaves and
Oops.
I wonder if the azure leaves are like chems and fallout,
And
where you
king's
take them a
fruit,
certain number of
if there's
time,
some
and then
king's
that's when you
fruit
become
here.
addicted.
Okay. Make your investigation check.
Do we have some addictol in this campaign? Or?
14.
Azure leaves, easy enough to find. You can gather. I mean, there's patches that are maybe like 15, 20 feet outside of your camp. You can see growing along like the bank of the river and spreading out like patches of, or not patches of azure leaves. They're like those vines of deep green and like an odd shade of blue. You can pull, the leaves are the odd shade of blue that are the azure leaves themselves that you can pull and dry. And there's plenty of those growing up different rocks and stuff in this area.
Can I get like what like 5?
Sure.
Cool.
King's fruit, you said?
Yep.
We'll keep your same. Well, I was looking for the azure, so roll another one for your king's fruit.
14. So the same thing.
Cool. They're even easier to find. Some of the trees around you, there's like this bark is smooth and kind of this rich brown color with the soft leaves that grow off of this bark are like oval in shape. They grow in these small clusters, especially during the warmer months. So this was like the right time to do this. And there's these small flowers that grow from these clusters. Let's see. It's they actually don't. The fruits themselves don't grow in this season.
Oh, they don't?
No,
Oh.
they're more of like an autumn fruit.
Would I know that?
Yeah, I'd say at this point that you would.
Then I wouldn't look for him
Okay.
if I.
Is there another one you wanted to look
yeah,
for?
I'll look for. Spellbane.
Those you would know are not found in grasslands. They're more
What about
like
some like
mountainous
blood
regions.
staunch or some red root?
blood staunch is not one, and red root is though, so you could look for red root. if
Yeah,
you'd like.
can I use the 14?
Sure.
Cool.
Let me see. Oh my God! Stop doing that. We'll downfall the tablet sometimes. Red root, legalize red root, callback. Yeah, red root you find. And there's like these this tangled mass of leafy shoots that grow close to the ground. Again, like not too far from your camp. And you would know at this point you need to pull the roots from the ground. Yeah. You find, say like 3 red roots, like 3 roots themselves that you pull out and are large enough and solid enough that you can harvest them and use them.
Sweet. That's all I do.
Okay. Is anyone else doing anything before you camp for the evening?
I was just gonna try to keep an eye out for Virgil, but that's all I'm doing.
Okay, make a
And
perception
some
check.
danger.
Stranger danger, stranger danger.
Guidance. Garbage. 13.
I mean, even with 13, you glance around as you guys are setting up camp, and you see the shape of Virgil perched off in one of the oak trees near your campsite, just watching. Virgil's vigil.
Yep, Vigilant Virgil.
Yep.
That's his name.
Anyone else want to do anything while we're... I mean, you're identifying that, obviously, once that gets all set up.
Then I'm doing a blood ritual. I'm just kidding. No.
More blood rituals. Okay. So, eventually you guys all gather your stuff. DeWitt shapes the Rasta-colored, shimmering
That's
hut.
not very
forms
stealthy
around you.
when you do it that color. You know that, right?
Well, yeah.
Oh, all right.
Are we trying to stealth?
I mean, I don't know if we're trying to stealth, but maybe like not being entirely obvious.
Yeah, we're gonna keep it this way.
Sorry, I asked.
No worries.
Okay. So you're in the hut and you go to identify the staff that Tail hands over to you. I'm assuming, a ritual casting this. So you pull out a pearl and can focus on it for 10 minutes. I think that's the ritual cast of it. It's not magical. It seems to be more of just like a vanity item that they would carry.
Cool. I'm totally gonna.
I mean, like there's magic. It's not a magical item. There's magic that emanates from the gem that produces that mist that is like watering the staff itself. But this staff is not magical.
I'm gonna prop it on my back then.
Okay.
Nix, you want to do some reading?
Of course. Spend a minute.
4.
Maybe we need to practice more.
Probably. We got a long time to travel, so
Yeah, every night
We'll
we
get
need
on
to be
that.
at it. Yeah. We've gotten rusty.
pie.
No, it's happy.
Oh, sorry.
So you spend some time doing some reading. Y'all nestle in for your first evening out on the road.
Actually, balls, shit.
Bullshit.
I had something that I wanted to ask Bartholomew and then I forgot.
Well, he melted.
He dead now.
He's gone, yeah.
He's gone now.
You watered the flowers with it.
Flowers. Do I know how sending stones are made?
How they're made?
Yeah, is it like, do you just cast sending into a stone over and over and over again until it fucking
Make an Arcana
takes it?
check.
This one's got 50 million tries. They cast sending. 50.
Guidance. Hey, 17.
17. Sending stones in specific, you're not sure how they're made, but like most magical items are created through like really intensive enchantment. And they do usually use that, like if you're enchanting a spell into an object, it is usually used with that spell or with the runes or the arcane language that makes up that spell. But I mean, that's all that you could really glean for like a sending stone, is that it would take somebody skilled in enchantment and the ability to kind of know the language of that spell and imbue it into that object. Or both objects in the case of a
takes a
sending stone.
Lot of time.
Something would have to not only do that, but like connect the two of them to each, like bind them to each other and make them like, you know, like a binary pair of objects.
Right. Fuck. Maybe I'll... Okay, I'm gonna cast sending real quick. I'm going to Ascending to Lorenzo.
Mm.
Hey, Lorenzo. It's been a while. That's one word.
It's been a while.
You could have said that as one word, but moving on.
I'm sorry to bother you. I was wondering if you could look into something for me. How are sending stones made?
The response does not take long at all. And there's like Nimue. I hadn't heard from you. Was worried.
Aw.
I can look into this. Still looking into the other matter you asked me of. Be safe. Hope all is well.
Aw, I don't have any more spell slots to contact him back.
He's a sad boy now.
Thanks. Okay, well, fuck. I can't text him back.
My phone died.
Oof. Anyways, okay, well, that was that done. So, great. That's all I'm doing for the evening.
Okay.
Oh, do you guys want me to see if I can possibly fix the shard glass dagger thingy?
Don't we need to be at a
Can you
blacksmith?
do that?
I can make a little furnace thingy, and I can use my control flames to heat it up more, so it's a little more mobile.
If you want to do this, you would know it's going to take you majority of the night to set up and heat this makeshift kiln enough. You would forgo sleep for the evening to try and just like set up the kiln, and you would probably need more time the next day to once it was hot enough.
I can do
Like,
it
work with it.
tomorrow.
It's like to get the heat required to, melt down a metal is going to take a lot.
Oh, actually, quick question, Kaya. Are you wearing anything on your hands? Like, do you have gloves on?
I have wraps.
Okay, well, fuck. I was wondering if you wanted these Hands of the Night initiative, because they're kind of useless for me to use, actually. And since you're so mobile on the battlefield, I thought it might be a good idea as like a emergency medic with the lay on hands. Would she be able to wear the Hands of the Night initiative as well as her wraps, like over them?
Yeah, the Hands of the Night initiative are more gloves. The wraps mostly cover her wrist. Like there's an
like
element that comes over her fingers to like hold it in place, but you could easily fit gloves over them. Sure.
Sure.
Do you want them?
Sure.
All
Yeah.
right, take it.
Thank you.
Because I already have healing capabilities and I can already cast those spells, so it's kind of useless for me to hold on to them. Bless is one of the things that you can use, like one of the spells you can cast out of it, and then Bane's the other one, but I'm not going to give you that spell card because that one's mine. But yeah,
It's
there you
okay.
go.
Bane is just literally the opposite of Bless.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyways, that's the last thing I'm going to do tonight. Sorry.
Okay.
Nice.
Respect. So, you all bed down in the tiny hut for the evening, and sleep finds you. And everyone's
I
like
swear to God.
so anxious about sleeping now. 7.
I now have insomnia.
Sleep takes you.
Oh shit! I thought you were fucking with him.
Your dream starts to take the same shape that it did the evening before, and you find yourself walking through a forest. And this kind of knowledge hits you of like, I've done this before. And you hear another familiar voice behind a tree nearby. Hello again, brother. You turn and see your brother standing there, leaned up against the tree. Seems circumstances find us here yet again.
Circumstances, my ass. You did this on purpose.
You're right, I did. Nice of you to notice, though. And how are you? How goes the journey?
It's been what? 1 night? 2 nights?
Well, I couldn't leave you be for too long. Have to keep tabs.
Well, not much has changed, so
Oh,
can't really give you anything.
you know, you could just tell me where you are, and I'll
Oh,
come
I
and
could
get
now,
you and
couldn't
bring you
I?
back.
I could do that.
I promise I won't bring any harm to your new friends. You, friends. Seems quite well, ridiculous in my opinion, but if you wish them unharmed, we won't do so.
I highly doubt that.
You do know us all too well, but in this I do speak true.
Well, it's only been like one night. I still have yet to think about it. I'm not quite sure what I want to do yet.
What you want to do is to think about where you are and tell me.
I don't think I want to do that at all.
Oh, but you will. You should make a wisdom saving throw.
Kill this dude.
You're good. You're good.
Natural 18.
Hell yeah.
Which, I mean, do you want me to...
No,
or is that
that's
good enough?
fine.
Okay.
Again, the forest starts to melt away, and like shapes start to come up around you, and they stop, and you kind of like in the dream grit your teeth, and just there's like a grunt, and you look up at him, and he goes, "Even in this form, your will is so strong. Mother would be proud. I know I am."
Yes. Well, maybe I might tell you some other time if you just decide to stop interfering with my dreams here. I would like to have a good night's rest without seeing your stupid face every time.
You and I both know that's not going to happen. I have a job to do, and be it beside me to fail Mother in that request. You know how it is, and how she is.
Oh, I know very well how she is. So, now, I would like to go to sleep.
Very well, we'll speak soon, brother.
I'm sure
Ye-
we will.
The visage of him dissipates into like a mist, and you're left in the forest. You continue your night of dreams.
The music.
Tail. No, I'm just kidding.
Jesus Christ, man.
Seven is literally me every time a sibling pops into my dreams. I'm like, I'd rather not see your stupid face.
I already see it
I
enough.
imagined you saying that to Randall.
Can't you just leave me alone? Where do you live together, man?
You all awake the next morning, rested. You get to
my
remove
God,
another
yes.
level of exhaustion.
Wow.
I'm getting so close.
Oh, hey. I get to undo all the damage that you did to me yesterday.
I can't undo the mental damage Mason did to me yesterday.
It's my job. All right. You wake to like partially cloudy morning. There's kind of a slight breeze that blows through the oaks around you as the hut dissipates. Nothing cold, just kind of a brisk, cloudy morning. A little bit less sun. The day for the journey is yours. Do you just continue down the road?
On the road again.
Yeah, before we
Yeah.
go, I'm like, Seven, you still look pretty exhausted, man.
Yes, just a little bit.
Who's got a light? I need some light. Who's got a fire?
Oh, I do. Here you
There,
go.
thank you. And then
Press
I
the digitation.
light up some
Hell, don't you
azure
have control
leaves.
flame?
And
Kind
then
of,
there
I've
has
got to
to be
do
some flame.
the
Yes.
annoying
So-
smoker thing where it's like there's a slight breeze, so the flint's just not lighting, so you're all like huddled in a circle with hands up.
yeah.
Finally, you get the azure leaves to light.
Give it to Seven.
All right, make a Constitution check.
You're going to get addicted.
Ooh, yay. I mean, ooh, darn. Oof, darn. Do 6.
A 6. It doesn't appear to help you as much as the time before. You feel relaxed, but having already had a long night's rest and everything, I mean, it doesn't do much more than just give you that feeling of just relaxation as you
This
kind
is
of
nice.
walk by a bit more happy on your walk. The trees seem to just take on a different shape and
A little more
I
pep
like
in your
trees.
yeah, a little more pep in your step.
Pepper.
Um,
a little more pepper.
Do it. I need you to make a Constitution check as well, as you have been partaking of the leaf for quite some
17.
Taking with
time. 17? Okay. You don't have any addictions?
Yeah, I know. I don't get addicted.
We'll see about that.
It's a lifestyle.
It's in his blood.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what's special about doing
Yeah.
Addiction-free blood. Mother looking for you.
You can sell that.
the Hulk meme where it's like, that's my secret. I'm always high.
Pretty much.
So this day's stretch of road, about midway through your day's travel, the road starts to curve away because this road has still been almost slightly bordered by the Witherwood, just slightly turning away. But this stretch curves and starts to go straight north away from the actual Witherwood. And this is the last little bit where you'll be close to it. If you would like to make perception checks for me.
All of us?
Everyone?
Sure.
All right, I'm gonna guidance myself.
8.
Crit 'cause it's-
17?
I'm just kidding. 14.
May. Woo.
Oh wait, what's my? I have a plus
16.
21.
24.
Okay, never mind.
All right. Those of you 15 and above.
Oh boy, that's me.
Damn it.
As you're-
14.
Yeah. As you're rounding this last little stretch and the road starts to curve, you put one more glance towards the Witherwood, and you can see just off in the trees a few wolfen forms staring and watching you, and one larger dire wolf that you've seen before during the Battle of Respite. Just watching. No moves made. Just watching from the trees themselves at you continuing up north.
Yeah, but I don't think they're going to leave the Witherwood.
Just a note. I just want to make sure you remember that I tied a string around Flicker's leg and attached it to
Yes,
myself.
I remember.
Just making sure.
How does Flicker feel about that?
Well, I told her to let me know if she doesn't want it, and then I'll let her go. She can leave whenever she wants, but only if she decides.
Not the.
I broke this down for her, Katrina.
because the bat understands.
She has a note, okay?
You go through the rest of this day's travel with nothing of particular interest that happens to you.
Definitely want to keep an eye out though.
Mhm.
But
You go to set up camp for the evening. Is there anything you'd wish to do during this evening's travel? Messages, any searches? You're still kind of in grasslands. I'd call it more like plains grasslands. So there might be a few more herbs you could look for that are more like plain areas if you're really wanting to do that.
Sure, fuck it.
Okay.
15. To look for things. One second. Are there any dragon's breath stalks?
Ooh, that is in this area. I'm pretty sure 15 finds them, but let me
What was that?
see.
You
What do
want
those
me to
do?
cast Dragon Breath?
no.
I don't know what they do actually.
A 15 is exactly what you needed to find dragon's breath.
Ah, perfect.
Yeah, so you go and look for a little bit around your camp. It takes you a little bit longer, a little bit further away from the camp itself into the grasslands, but you eventually come across this stout stalk of this nearly bare, it's like nearly bare stalk from leaves except for the base of the stalk itself. And the plant is covered, it's in these like fine red hairs that are, you go to like grab it and it's painful to the touch. Like they're almost like little spines, like spiked red hairs. Each hair has a minute amount of the poison itself in it, not enough. You know, you prick it and you can feel the kind of pulse in your finger of the poison, but not enough to like fully take on the poison of the dragon's breath. You roll me a nature check to see if you can actually harvest it without.
10.
10. That's exactly what you needed. So it's easy enough. You harvest one use of dragon's breath. With the 10, there's a couple of the stalks here, and you kind of fuck up the first couple of times and prick your hands a couple times to where your hand is almost numb by this point, and you feel a little nauseous, but like you're not poisoned, but you just have taken enough that you're like, whoa. And finally, on the last one, you're able to cut it and cultivate just enough of the stalk for
Sweet.
the poison.
Okay.
Anything else anyone wishes to do?
I would like to message Alar.
Okay.
My Senate, and I'll say, I think Phaedra is working with Callista. The gemstones are instrumental in whatever they're doing. Did you ever hear anything of importance while I was too young to know what was going on?
There's a response a moment later, and he just says, that doesn't seem right to me. She knows who she knows who Callista is. Didn't learn much of the stones. I was tasked with your care. We'll think on this.
Anybody else?
Hey, Nimue.
Yes, to it.
Veracity or challenge?
Veracity.
Yo, what's up with you and Lorenzo? Are you guys like a ting or something?
Fucking finally. My God, how many episodes later? That's like fucking 10, 12 episodes
A lot
later.
of episodes later.
Yeah, it's a lot. You know, I don't think that there's really anything going on.
Oof.
Inside check.
Yep, insight check. Me too.
Roll a deception check.
Well,
Unless you really don't feel that way.
I'm not deceiving them,
Okay.
but I will further explain.
Okay.
I wasn't done with my sentence. You fuckers.
I don't care.
What was your guys' insight check?
Natural 19, so.
Mine was 17.
Oh, shit.
22.
Okay, yeah, I mean, I was telling the truth. Well, so, how do I put it?
It's illegal for doctors to date their patients.
HIPAA requires me to. No, well, it's just we really only had a short time together, and a lot of that was not spent together romantically in any sort of capacity. And while I can see that he's quite interested in me, and it is nice to feel wanted, and I do find him attractive, I don't think that there's anything further at the moment.
Well, it seems like you kind of like him. I don't know.
That sounded scripted.
Yeah, I think so too. Do you like him or not?
I think he's attractive. I just said that.
Well, no, like.
Well, that doesn't mean
Do you
that
like him or do you like him?
Oh my god, I can't believe it.
There's a lot of attractive people out in the world.
But like in
Value.
5 years, say, you go back. Where did we leave around?
Whitehorn.
Whitehorn.
So we end up in Whitehorn. You settle down there. Where do you? Is he in your future?
I don't know.
Could
Cast
be.
augury and find out.
Augury was
30 minutes.
30 minutes. But I actually do have divination, which is 7 days.
Well, we've got time. We sat down to rest. I mean, how many spells have you used today?
None.
Well, there you go.
Well, I was going to send him a couple of messages because I have some information that I need from him.
Oh, to Lorenzo.
Oh, this is gonna be fun.
Okay, guys, listen.
Oh, it's fine. You
rushing.
cast your messages. We'll leave you alone.
Yeah, Nix and I'll do some reading or something.
Totally. We'll do some reading.
And we'll listen.
Reading into the
we won't.
messages.
No, we'll give them their privacy.
Yes, yeah. In this tiny hut.
Anyways, to answer your question, I don't know if there's a future there because I don't know what my future holds or if Runa is going to let me continue living once I've completed whatever tasks she has set out for me.
Ooh.
So let's not talk about the future, shall we?
Okay.
Well, let's
Anyways,
pour one out for the boy. Rip his feelings.
I never said.
And rip his legs.
Drink for Lorenzo.
Yeah.
I'm going to leave the tiny hut.
Nimue, where are you going?
Nimue walks away.
Anyway, come back.
Nimue, come back.
Message
You remember that
F in the
song?
sending chat.
Come back.
You walk away to the sound of cat calls, and I don't. Sound can penetrate the hut, can't it?
Yeah.
Okay, never mind. I was like, it goes away. That would have been funnier, but that's fine.
I'll just go find a tree to lean up against, and then I'm gonna send a couple messages to Lorenzo.
Okay.
The first one is going to say, why?
I don't know.
Why?
Why?
Just trying to get myself out of thinking meta with Lorenzo, going, she doesn't like me. She doesn't like me.
She likes me. She likes me not. She
Well, I haven't
Cry on
sent
Lorenzo.
him-
He's just sitting in his bed in a nightgown. She loves me. She loves me not.
She likes me. She likes me not.
Anyway, sorry for that.
Okay. Anyways, the first message is going to be, sorry for not being able to respond till now. Kind of had busy times, but we just left Mid-Cross and are heading to the Giant Spine Mountains. How are you? You pooping?
You poop. He responds a moment later and says, "Oh, I'm doing well. Miss your company. Business as usual here. Spoke with Belir about sending stones. Have some info when I can speak more." And that's first message.
XOXO.
I'll,
Also, I'm wearing nothing.
What are you wearing?
okay.
When I'm traveling, so I'm wearing traveling clothes. Actually, I'm wearing all black now. My hair's
I
black.
kind of changed up
Hopefully,
my
you're
look.
cool with that.
Oh yeah, I forgot you did that.
Lorenzo's
Yeah.
not into black hair chicks.
Yeah, just blondes.
Only blondes.
Blondes have more fun. Okay, I'll send another message. I don't know what I'm gonna say.
You answer the phone. Hey,
Hey.
what's up?
It's me again.
Yeah.
Long pause.
Great.
So,
Glad to hear you're doing well. What other information did you learn? Also, wait, what else did he fucking say?
Talking to dude to know more about
to think like a
Samsung.
boy on the opposite end of a text.
right.
Shouldn't be
Wait,
that.
I would say
Texty text.
It's not that hard. I've been through it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Also, I miss your company as well.
Okay, now he's not upset. There's
Lorenzo
that
said
awkward like,
XOXO.
oh, that's great to hear. Can't wait for you to come back.
Now he's wasting his words.
Stop it! I need the information.
Anyway, you would need some high-level enchantment to create a sending stone. I know that much. We have some here, so if you need to come back, we can take care of it for you.
If Nimue come back, you can take all the sending stones.
Okay, I'll send another message.
Lorenzo's had a good night.
yeah, 3 messages. Wow.
My sending stone's blowing up.
I wish I could come back, but we're kind of on a long and dangerous mission right now. I don't know when I'll be able to make it back. But I'll try to keep in contact more often.
Well, please be safe, and do try to keep in contact. It is good to know you are okay. I do worry about you. I'll see what I can do about maybe someone giving me this ability as well. I won't use it, and it just breaks off.
I won't.
Started panicking. Is that too much? Oh, fuck. Oh God.
Yes, to become like a.
There's no response. And he's like,
Stupid.
man, this is too real for me right now. Ugh. Okay, anyway.
Kind of like getting hot.
Oh.
Okay. I'll go back to the group.
Oh, that took a while. What were you? Who were you
Nimoy, I
talking to?
didn't know you had husband,
I don't have a husband.
boyfriend,
I don't have a boyfriend.
lover.
I've literally never had sex in my entire life.
Oh,
So I don't have one of those
Wait.
either.
So Lorenzo, though.
neither have I. I'm only 14.
Yeah, it's like 37 in dog years.
The immortal 14-year-old Kenku.
Oh my god. Anyway.
Should we do some reading?
Oh, yeah, we weren't reading at all the time.
Nope. Ooh, 19.
19. It's a little bit easier today.
We're practicing, though. I want to practice on the book that I took from Bartholomew's.
Oh, okay. Cool.
What is dead creature?
Well, it says here it's a stone giant.
Oh my god.
Have you ever heard of those?
It's
Stone
like a rough sketch in it.
giant.
Good job. Now, what is this word here?
It's 3 letters. She flips to a page and there's a giant bird, like avian creature.
7.
No, you have to actually try to sound it out. You don't just look at the picture
Oh,
and
sorry.
guess.
And
also, this thing can fly. No offense.
Oof.
Roku.
That's close enough. It's rock.
All right. Rock. That's a bird.
Oh, yeah, clearly
Large
it
bird.
says here, yeah.
Cool.
We might run into, well, they said that they're in the mountains.
We might
So hopefully we
fly
don't see
into
one.
one of them.
I don't want to do that.
Are they mean?
The book describes them as being territorial. They usually hunt larger prey. However, if their territory is encroached upon, depending, they are defensive of their
What
areas.
type of bird is that again?
A rock?
You ever heard of a rock?
A rock. No.
Nope, I've heard of Iran.
Okay.
What?
Smile.
Okay. Okay. All right. Cool.
Also, DeWitt,
What?
veracity or challenge.
Shit. Veracity.
When was the last time you talked to your girl?
Since I left.
Do you want me to send a message to her?
No, I want the first thing she hears from me to be from me.
Fair enough. Adorable.
Thanks, though.
Well, hopefully we can get back there in a timely manner for you to help.
Yeah, I think we will. I mean, it's already been a pretty long time. So,
Fair enough. How long has it been?
probably like what, 6 months, 7 months?
I would say it's probably coming closer on 10 months at this point.
I wonder,
10 months.
is there any way we could send something to your island? Maybe we could find some more sending stones and get one of them to her.
I mean, we could. I don't know how to tell someone about an island that no one's been on, or how to
I'm
find
just
it.
saying something we maybe can look into.
Well, maybe one day we can also travel down there with the sending stone and you can give it to her in person. Lorenzo just told me that they have some in Whitehorn. I almost said Whitestone.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, I don't know if I'm going to be leaving my island after I finish my quest.
Right.
So if I go back there, you know, I don't need a sending stone. Unless I want to talk to you guys, I guess. Of course I do, obviously. So we're gonna need like 5 sending stones. I'm gonna need 5 different ones.
We need a group chat going.
Yeah.
A group sending stone.
Except I can just contact you at any given point in time.
message per day, though. So
Yeah.
Make it count.
Good.
But yeah, thanks for the offer.
Of course.
All right. So you guys go about your evening rituals and eventually start to fall asleep for this evening again. And we're going to take our break there. We'll be back shortly.
Sleep gonna kill this time.
Guess what, guys? I'm no longer exhausted.
Oh, you haven't woken up yet, man.
Yeah. You don't know.
Yeah, it's preemptive. It's preemptive. Who knows what? Who knows what dream I'll have this time? I know.
All right, and we're back. So, all right, everybody. So, Taelented Seven, you all ended bedding down for the evening after your second day's worth of travels towards Methanor. It's the
Meth?
evening. No, Methanor. Sorry. As sleep takes you all for the evening. 7.
I hate this.
You find yourself again in a familiar forest. And walking the same path as you had the last couple nights that you've experienced this dream. This time, your brother steps around the corner of a tree and just looks to you and says, I'm getting quite impatient with you, brother.
Well, you're not very patient to start. It's been only one more day.
This will not last long. And as he says that, his form starts to shift and bend, and you see the form of Mother standing before you. And she starts to step towards you slowly. And as she steps towards you, her form starts to grow and then stretch and contort, and her jaw like unhinges and loosens and stretches down to her chest and opens and starts to expand, and she starts to step towards you, and you start to take a step back and like back up as this form starts to amass and grow in front of you and step in your direction. I need you to make a wisdom save with disadvantage.
Oh my god. I hate wisdom saves. But, oh fuck.
Some pieces.
Sucks.
8.
8. Okay. This image of Mother lasts the entire night's sleep as she chases you through the winding forest. Multiple times you trip and fall, and she gains on you, and it lasts your entire sleep. When you awake in the morning, you do not suffer the benefits of a long rest.
Suffer the benefits of.
You do not achieve the benefits of a long rest, and you also suffer 12 points of psychic damage upon waking.
You know what? I'm just never going to go back to sleep. That's what's happening now.
The rest of you,
You said 12, right?
12. The morning finds you.
Who makes
Rested.
a character like this?
Well rested.
You really fucked yourself.
Yeah, fuck.
And
Can I change my backstory?
no. The morning light shines through the trees around you into the outer edges of the tiny hut as your morning begins and the hut dissipates. What would you like to do? Keep heading down the road? 7 looks a little like shaken, a little worse for wear.
7, are you feeling okay?
I would just like to say and reiterate once again, I hate my family.
Okay, we understand that. Is there a reason you're bringing it up now, or?
Yeah, I hate your family too. So.
No, not really. It's just a constant thought.
That's a general consensus.
I don't know your family, but maybe they can be friends later.
Well, good luck with that one. I'm not gonna help you out there.
It's okay, I can make friends by myself.
Guys, when are we going to take care of Tails' thing?
Oh,
What's-
yeah,
Which
that
thing?
Oh, right. Do we want to do that right now?
Nah, I mean, not right now, but
Maybe tonight when we.
sure.
Are you talking about?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm
Okay.
gonna gather just some more insects for Flickerbat
Okay.
as we travel along, and I'll just keep feeding her little snacks.
Okay. I don't really have a check or a skill challenge to make you do for that. I feel like it's pretty
She's
pretty
sleeping
easy
right
to,
now.
pretty easy to what?
Saving them.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
She's adjusting to my sleep schedule, though. Let's be real. So
Probably.
I rolled that. Okay.
Yeah, you've rolled like 6 natural 20s.
Just none of bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brutal.
Sure. Easy enough to gather insects.
All right, let's keep going.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just traveling along.
So, your day's
On the
journey, the
road
sky's a
again.
lot less cloudy, a lot sunnier today. There's still that kind of brisk breeze that blows through the air that at times kind of sends a shiver down your spine when the breeze picks up. You eventually, about midday, make it to a bridge, like a river crossing. They're just the bridge is it's not terribly long, but on the other side of the bridge, well, make a perception check for me.
Love to. Guidance.
17.
That's common as fuck. Natural 20.
18.
So 30.
20.
Jesus.
23.
Crap, what am I rolling again? Sorry, I was busy moving my sandwich.
Perception check.
I forgot what I was rolling for. 16. I don't know why I turned. I knew what.
Okay.
I knew what I was adding.
So most of you can easily see there is what appears to be the shapes of a cart and a figure knelt down next to this cart that's kind of lopsided. You two at the natural 20s can see from across the bridge, it looks to be this cart with like a wheel broken off to the side, and there's a humanoid figure like crouched down messing with the wheel of this cart.
I'll approach.
Okay.
I'll cast Detect Thoughts while we do that.
Okay.
Oh.
On Tail. What's he thinking about?
On Tail? On a Tail, what are your base thoughts?
So what do I see the wagon guy, right?
Yeah.
What race is he?
I guess if you're all approaching, you can see just a human man, kind of chubbier, like bigger build. He's got almost like a double chin and just short 5 o'clock stubble everywhere. Really messy brown hair, short, with kind of closely shaven sides, and just dressed in like traveler clothes, like common traveler clothes, basically. And as you get closer, he turns to look at you all. Whoops, that's not what I wanted.
What are you thinking?
Oh, it would be so sad if Valley got fat and had a double wooden chin.
All right. I'll move it to the fat guy with the double chin.
Thick. Okay.
Sorry. Let's be PC.
You move it to the guy.
Yeah.
His surface thoughts are like frustration and I don't have a word for. He seems to be working at something, like frustrated with the task that he's working on, and hears you approach and turns and like squints and holds up his hand with the sunlight and just looks at you and says, "Oh, hello there. Wouldn't happen to care to help someone out with, well, trouble?" And he points back at the wagon, the broken wheel. And as he turns, Nimue, you can see a familiar symbol around his neck.
The symbol of Varuna?
Mhm.
Okay, good.
Are you wearing yours openly?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought so. And does he see, or is he more frustrated? Yeah, he as you start walking up, he goes, "Oh, another follower of the Maiden. I didn't expect to see that this far out here in the wilds, but
That is quite
well,
odd.
sorry, where are my manners? I'm Gregor. Sorry to, well, you're traveling. I apologize for, well, asking for assistance, but I could really use some help here. It's just me. It's kind of a bumpy road back there.
That's all right. What happened appears to be the problem.
Well, hit something and the spoke on the wheel broke, and I can't lift the wagon up to repair it and put a new wheel on by myself. Should have thought of that before I traveled alone, but
Right.
here we are.
Do it and tail. You
Oh,
guys lift it
yeah.
up. I'm gonna cast
That-
mending on it.
Can I just inspect the wagon to see if
Are you doing this
There's-
subtly, or what are you doing?
just as I'll make it look like I'm watching them like fix the wagon, but I want to see if if anything suspicious happened there, or if it looks like the evidence supports what he just said.
Sure, make a perception check.
I'm gonna cast mending.
Ooh, 22.
22. Walking around while these, or like just to the side while these two are,
What did you guys roll?
or these three are doing their
Natural
thing.
one.
You can see the wagon itself is tipped like at an angle, and the corner is dug into the dirt, and there is like a very visible snap of like the spoke of the tire, and the tire like
Is there a
leaned off
rock
in the
there?
dirt. Not a rock, but you can see the road just looking up the path is bumpy and jagged. There are potholes in it. It's like the further away from civilization you get, less the roads are upkept.
Okay.
So, natural one and a what to lift the
4.
wagon? Oh my god. So these two kind of macho over to the wagon and go and squat and go to lift it, and you hear this and DeWitt stops moving.
Was that your bones or was that the
Stop
cart?
showing off. Just lift it. You don't have to sit there and be like, oh, look at how I can hold this for so long.
Yeah, I'm lifting it.
What is
The
in
wagon doesn't move.
your
Like it's like
wagon?
maybe a centimeter and then just sinks back into the mud. And
What?
Tail's like struggling as well.
Why is your wagon so heavy?
Yeah, I think I broke
Well,
something.
I am carrying supplies to bring, well, not back, my crates and things to pick up supplies from Midcross and bring.
Can we
back.
take some of the crates off so we can leave wagon better?
I
If-
can just try to
Right,
help. We can all try to help
yeah.
and do this together.
I'll help.
I mean, whatever makes it easiest, and of course I can help lift it as well. It's my wagon.
All
Sorry
of us
about that.
get under there.
Okay. With the combined strength of everybody, you're able to lift the wagon, and you pick up the wheel and cast mending, and the wood kind of like seals back together. You can almost see as you like put the two pieces together, the splinters almost like fit back into place, and then seal almost as if nothing had happened to the wood in the first place. And you all step back, and he just, well, thank you. I can't be more gracious than I am. That was going to be a long travel if I wasn't able to fix that. I don't have much for money to repay you. I kind of just brought the pay for my supplies
Where are you heading?
to Midcross to pick up supplies. I live just a ways outside of.
I know what you can do for us.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Could you just tell them when you get there? Just tell everybody that will listen at the Talented Seven that you encountered the Talented Seven and that they were great heroes and they stopped a stone giant in its tracks in less than a minute.
sure.
Just if you could tell everybody you know in Midcross that would be great.
If that's what you wish, I'm happy to spread
Thank
the
you.
tale.
Oh, that's
The
me.
tale of the talented.
Well, I'm sorry.
You got
Oh, my name is Dale. Nice to meet
That's quite
you,
unfortunate.
Gregor. Oh, it is
Wow.
quite fortunate. It's great name for
No, I'm
great
sorry. I didn't mean your name was
hero.
important. It just the relation, it's people like to tell tales.
Relation with
So,
what?
It's really nice to meet you, Tail.
Oh yeah, nice to
sticks out
meet
his
you
hand
too,
and shakes it.
person.
Sticks out his hand. You shake his hand because it's you. I don't know.
Yeah, I do shake. his
Okay, you
hand.
shake his hand.
It's fresh white paint on his hand. I'm just kidding.
Pulls his hand back and wipes on his clothes. Says,
I have a skin condition.
He says, well, I'm happy to spread this information for you all. It's a weird chance that I happen to stumble upon you all, and, well, maybe not as weird to you or I have one more thing I could give, at least you. It might not be of any benefit to anybody else.
Oh,
but-
she already have lover. So I think she.
He just
okay.
he looks from you to Nimue for a second and kind of like turns bright red and goes, "Oh, I'm so that's I apologize. That's not what I was."
I didn't think it was.
Oh.
My friend is
Um,
just playing with you.
Okay. All right.
I'm sorry about
Anyway,
I'm
well,
not.
I was given this. Well, found this for the right circumstances, and pulls something out of his pocket in his palm and kind of steps towards you and holds out his hand and opens it, and you can see like a palm-sized stone. Hold on, I'm gonna get the exact description.
Suspicious.
Suspicious behavior.
It's kind of like a dull gray or like greenish color. Oops. And there are what appears to be like runes or like arcane language etched into the stone itself. Why the hell? Okay, I don't know what's happening there, so we're just gonna leave it. He says, when I took up following the maiden, I was under some hard times, and I was guided to, well, I know it's paltry and weird to say, but the stone. And she told me that it would, as hopefully it will do you now, be of use to me if ever I was surrounded by any evil. It has an enchantment that, well, I wasn't really given specifics that made sense to me, but something that would protect me. It would activate when I was surrounded by anything that was considered evil and spare me from that pain. And something tells me to pass it on to you. I hope that makes sense.
I'm gonna insight check.
Okay, make an insight check.
What are his base thoughts? Is it of Nimue naked?
Yeah.
19.
A 19. Whoop.
Can I read the things?
Make an Arcana check. He seems truthful. I mean, the
8.
8? You have no idea what the runes
they're
are.
so hot they're there.
They're
Wow.
kind of, again, like a mix of different arcane languages. It's not like a specific one that stands out. But he seems genuine, like handing it out to you.
Okay.
She says, I mean, it's provided me comfort, but something along this journey told me that I would be handing off something that I valued to someone who needed it greater than I. If that makes sense. I mean, I know that the maiden works in mysterious ways.
Too bad the rock couldn't save you from broken wagon.
Well, yes, that I wouldn't consider a great evil, but it would have been nice if it had saved me from that.
I appreciate your kindness.
Of course, I appreciate your willingness to stop and help.
Tell me, can you see the owl? And I'm going to point out Virgil wherever he is.
Kind of looks to where you point. I see no owl.
Can I
Is
see
there-
the owl?
You look to where she's pointing and you can see the owl.
I'm so good.
Good question. When are you going? What are you doing after mid-cross?
Well, I'm picking up supplies and then traveling back to my home.
Oh, never mind then.
Oh, where do you live?
As I said earlier, I live just outside of Maethanor. I have
Oh.
a small cabin. I'm not big on cities or crowds. I travel in when I need to pick up supplies.
Fair.
Try to live off of the land as much as possible.
Do you have you ever been to the Giant Spine before?
I've never traveled into the mountains, no.
Do
Why?
you know,
ask?
I mean, we might go there. We're just wondering if there's any cool sights, if you've heard anything.
I mean, I've heard they're dangerous, so now I understand why I was guided to give you that stone. But
Oh, that's another thing. Can you tell everybody that we're the bravest group of heroes you've ever come across?
I'll tell them whatever you like. You helped me to spend less time here, camped off the road, pray for any bandits or things that come along. So I'm most grateful. Whatever you want me to say, I'll say it.
Do you know anything about Methanor? Is there any way for us? Is it like difficult to get within the city, or anything of that sort?
I mean, it's an elven city, predominantly. There's some other races that live there, but mostly what I know, it's, a mix of high elves and elves that grew up in the forests, and most of the city is built out of natural architecture, built out of trees. There are, homes and things. There's a lake in the center of the town that houses the leadership, but like an island in the middle of the lake. There are houses that are grown naturally there. I couldn't really tell you much. I don't really wish to visit the elven towns. Humans aren't necessarily looked on with favor there. They're not looked down upon, but I'd prefer to travel into Mid-Cross. Usually sees a bit more supply and demand come through.
That's fair. Is it difficult to get within Methanol?
I haven't been any time recently. I couldn't say.
Okay. Thank you so much for your help.
Oh, thank you, Gaul.
I appreciate your gift.
I hope it serves you well.
Thank you.
Well, I must be on my way. I
Us
will
too.
Safe travel.
Tell everyone.
Son.
I'm just gonna cast Death Ward on him.
And you feel the warmth transfer from your hand into his, and he says, well, thank you. I
hope you stay safe in your travels.
do appreciate that.
I want to hide 20 gold in his wagon.
Okay, make a sleight of hand check.
25.
25? I don't think he's gonna. Yeah. Nope. Doesn't notice that.
That was a little scary.
He hops up on the cart itself and kind of use the reins to get the horses going and continues down the path the way you guys had come. Across the bridge.
Before he gets too far away, as in 30 feet, I'm gonna do a detect evil and good. Just
Okay.
to make sure that he's not a bad person.
Okay, yeah, you don't detect.
I don't detect anything? Okay, cool. Good. Alright. Well, let's keep going.
Yep.
Okay. So you continue on your path.
Damn. What do I call that stone?
Varuna's
Stone.
rock.
I don't know, whatever you want to call it.
Okay.
So you cross the bridge. About another half day's travel. You start to see the shape of what looks to be the ruin of not a large, but like a watchtower that is built into the base of one of the larger hills as you've kind of entered into more of a hilled area. And as you get closer, you can see it's maybe like 50 or 60 feet high. Probably like 120 feet diameter of like a circular watchtower built into the hillside. The sun, at this point, the sun is setting. You can just see it as the sun is setting. You guys are approaching that tower in general. The rest of the land around you is just kind of lower hills. There's some larger ones like the one that the tower is built into, but it's built just off of maybe like 30 feet off of the main path to Methanor.
Should we?
When do you think that existed? Was around all the time? Probably a while ago, huh?
Probably a long time.
Yeah.
So shifty eyes.
Yeah.
Should we check it out or?
I don't know. Should we?
Should we just go past it?
Yeah, let's check it out.
Little sunset.
I want to check it out.
It
Sunset.
looked cool to me.
Watchtower.
There's probably something
Adventure.
in that. It's probably haunted.
Oh, I'm
that-
not going in then.
Oh, you don't want to get possessed again?
No. Do you want me to
Eleanor.
get possessed again and
No.
attack you guys?
No
worked out totally
possession,
fine
not
last
fine.
time.
Yeah, it worked great.
It was
I
pretty
only did a
fun.
little bit of damage. Okay, I only have a little scar.
Oh my god.
Possession, not cool.
Maybe we go
Right,
in
fuck it, let's
stealthy.
go.
Yeah, we go in stealthy. We have our weapons out. We're ready.
Because we're all very, very.
Oh yeah, I so stealthy as I'm clinking
Clank,
around
clank,
my.
Right. Pass without trace.
Alright.
Sneaking.
Oh, cool. We're
So you're going into the tower.
Just pass without trace.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna go up to it. We're gonna sneak up to it.
Okay.
21.
28.
26.
Fuck. 15. 26.
Okay.
25.
31.
Jesus.
Wait, Big, what'd you get?
I got 21.
Oh, nice.
We all got above a 20.
Okay. So you guys quietly make your way up to the watchtower, and as you get closer, you can see it. It appears to be old. Like there are old vines and mosses growing up the sides of it. A lot of the top, like I don't even know what those are called. Like the squares along the top of a watchtower.
Minecraft things?
Yeah. A lot of them are like crumbled and decayed and have fallen off. There's bits of the tower that have crumbled and decayed and are falling off the sides, like against the hill. You come up to it, and there is a singular, like, double wooden door at the base of the tower itself.
We going in?
Well, should we go
Wait,
investigate
wait.
around the base of the tower first? Or?
Can I inspect this first? I'm trying to learn from past mistakes.
Inspect.
The door for traps.
Sure. Roll an investigation check.
It's, 21.
21. You, learning from past mistakes, very carefully inspect the door, and it does not appear to be trapped, but it does appear to be locked.
Do we want to go in?
Yeah.
Let's go.
I mean, we here now,
Does
so
it look like
why
there's like
not?
footsteps around that were
Again.
recent?
Make a survival check.
Does it look disturbed in any way?
The door?
Yeah, like anything's been trying to get in or out, like aggressively.
Make a perception check.
I'm gonna
Stop.
guidance myself.
What's the cultural architecture surrounding this watchtower?
15.
tell you that.
Time period can we
So-
determine that it was built in?
16.
Welcome to the Encyclopedia Feldspire. A 16. The door doesn't appear to be like there's anything that's tried to force its way in or
Like
out.
that.
It
Yeah,
just the doors do appear to be old, but they're functioning and they're still set like in their.
They don't look like off kilter
Yeah,
or anything.
yeah.
Cool.
What did you roll?
15.
A 15. There are prints and stuff that go around, like the door and the building and things like that. But I mean, you are right next to a road.
Oh, yeah. I was just wondering.
How old?
The 15 and it being DeWitt, you can't quite tell.
They were here sometime.
Oh, good.
Yes. People were.
It's insightful.
You're welcome.
I thought the building appeared
Maybe we
out
should
of
leave
nowhere.
the tracks to 7.
I wanted to try something. All right.
I think you did great.
Thanks.
Yeah, it was really insightful.
Yeah, I can tell.
I'm gonna cast Mage Hand. I'm gonna cast Mage Hand and unlock the door or attempt to.
Okay.
That's pretty good. I keep forgetting it's 28.
All right. So you see Nyx pulls out her lockpick kit and kind of holds it up, and it just like floats up. Like the lockpicks pull out of the pouch itself and float up towards the door, and it doesn't take too long for them to... The door kind of opens ajar a little
How
bit.
loud is the creak?
It creaks.
Like on a scale of 1 to 20, how stealthy would it be?
I don't know. Let me roll stealth for the door. It's a 17. It's pretty
That's
quiet.
nice.
Cool.
Did you add pass without trace?
Cool, very cool, very nice, very smooth, very
Very
cool.
smooth, very nice.
27.
I think the door's not proficient in stealth.
No.
Oh, okay. Well, let's go.
There doesn't appear to be any light emanating from the inside as the door kind of creaks open a little bit. It does seem dark on the
It's just
interior.
pitch black inside.
Yes, because the sun is setting and it is a tower, so it's pretty dark in there.
Well, let's go in.
Okay.
I would like to first make a survival check to see if I can see any recent foot traffic inside the house or anything.
Inside, I was gonna say, DeWitt pointed out that there's some that were outside the doors,
Yeah.
but you want to check? If
I
there's
wanna check
anything
inside as well.
Inside, like right in the doorway.
like right as
Or are you
like if I can
going
see
inside?
anything, if I can see anything from the doorway, like before I enter,
Oh, okay.
that would be great.
Sure.
But
Roll a
as like
survival
as
check.
I enter as well.
Yeah, roll a survival check.
I can't remember how much that is. No, 14.
A 14. You see the same tracks that DeWitt pointed out, like around the edge of the door itself, but there's like some remnants of dirt and dust that like pull into the doorway, but you're not sure if they were just like kicked under the door frame itself from the people walking around outside, or
Okay.
How thick is the layer of dust around?
like the entryway.
Yeah, like inside more.
I
Like
mean,
going
there's a
inside.
pretty like visible layer of like dirt from the entryway. That again, there's enough of a gap under the front main doors that
That
you're
it
not
could
sure
have
if it was
blown in.
like blown in or kicked in.
Well, I'm gonna
or-
pay attention to that as we keep going in.
Okay. All right. So you all go in.
Yeah.
All right. Roll initiative. No, I'm just kidding.
All right.
So
It's about time.
Yeah.
walking in, you can immediately it opens up into kind of a larger. There are like walls that section off maybe like one or two other rooms in here, but the rest of it's mostly an open area. As you walk in, this one, those of you with dark vision can see there's a couple of round tables with maybe 4 to 6 chairs at each of them that are, again, there's like a layer of dust over them. There's some, like along one of the outer edges of the wall, there's what looks to be like a kitchen type of setup, like something that was used for preparing meals and things. And then there is like straight to the back right corner, there's a walled off, like a room with an archway, not a door, but like there's an archway that leads into another room. And then further back, just along the back wall, there's another smaller room that does have an actual door to it that is shut.
Okay. I'm gonna do a little eyes of the grave to see if there's any undead around
Okay.
within 60 feet.
You clutch your symbol and close your eyes and kind of reach out with that divine sense, and you don't detect any undead or anything like that in the area.
Okay. Keep tilting forward.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Through the archway.
Yeah.
Through the archway.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you step
We're
into that.
whispering.
I'll keep my eyes out for traps as we go.
Okay. Make an investigation check. Or I guess it'd be perception. Well, no investigation. It's cocked twice.
Investigation?
Yeah.
24.
24?
No, 20. No, 25.
25. You don't detect any traps as you kind of go through. Like I said, this part of the room's pretty open. There's some like tables and like chairs that are haphazardly scattered. Like a couple of the chairs are knocked over, and some of them lay in like disrepair along the wall. And you, like the further you go in, there's less and less of a layer of dust from like one of the tables was kind of covered. You come into that archway, and as you walk in that room, it's what appears to be like an old bunk room. There are a series of 8 like bunk bed like bunks that are positioned 4 against 4 on each wall, and then like a center, and there are like vanity chest type things at the edge.
Oh, like foot lockers.
Yeah,
and
foot
shit.
lockers at the edge of each bunk. And then almost like a wardrobe like closet at the far end.
Is
Yeah.
there anybody in any of the beds?
Make a perception check.
I was,
You said there's less dust.
Yeah, the further in you go, there's less dust.
I was gonna say, now that we're inside more, can I do another survival check?
24.
Or
24. There doesn't appear to be anybody in the beds. Most of the beds are like made and just like uniform, like the
Military style.
like military style. There is one bed that is kind of tussled and a bit more in disarray than the other ones.
16.
16. The further that you've gone in, there's less and less dust, and it looks like intentionally cleared.
Can I
Somebody's
tell
living
how recent?
Now the 16.
I'm
Okay.
gonna go over to the
Um,
bed, put my hand on it, and feel how warm it is. If somebody's been there recently.
Okay. You put your hand and feel on it. Doesn't
I'd-
feel warm.
I'd like to make it known. Just be like, this is intentional. the dust clearing more as we walk in here.
I'm also gonna say somebody's been here recently. This has been slept in.
The bed that's been like tussled, is it further in the room or closer to the door that we just entered from?
It's the furthest away bed on the right on the bottom bunk.
Okay.
Is there anything in the footlocker at the end of the bed?
Do you go to open it?
No, I'm gonna have Nix look at it first.
Nix, do you open it?
No, I inspect it first.
Okay, make an investigation
I
check.
remembered the spiders.
I think we all do.
I also remember this one.
I think we all do. Yeah. That affected everybody.
Yeah.
21.
Everybody disliked that.
21. It is not trapped, but it is locked.
I will cast Mage Hand and unlock it.
Okay.
Fuck. 23.
23. Your mage hand again floats over and the top kind of like lifts up a little bit. Just hangs there.
I love how you don't specify that you move back after you cast Mage Hand.
I just
because
assume
it
that that's the case.
But like, it's also funny to imagine that you have it, but you're also just like standing right
Standing
next
in
to
front of
it.
it and like looking at it, and it's just right there, like 2 feet from her. And she's like, "I'm safe."
Yeah, this is how Rogan
No traps are
works.
getting me.
It's not my hand.
This is how roguing works.
I'll open the footlocker with the Mage Hand.
Okay, so you guys watch the chest kind of open up.
What's inside?
Now, do you walk over and look into it?
Yeah.
Okay.
It blows
I
up.
want to look at it. It's
No.
you.
Fireball. No, you walk over and look in, and the top layer is what appears to be like warm weather, like robes and like a cloak and gloves, and there's some like thick hide boots in there with like fur lined, just like cold weather clothes, like as you can see over the top.
That's it.
Do you go through the chest, or are you just looking in the chest?
I'm going through it. I want to.
Okay.
I'm going
So you
to
kinda pull out-
keeping
Quietly.
an eye out for like
good,
anyone
good,
else
good,
coming in. If somebody decided to follow us.
Okay. So you go back out into.
No, I'm staying like where we are, but I'm just like looking.
You're looking into the archway.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you pull out like that warm weather stuff and
Warm weather stuff.
warm weather gear or cold weather gear. Sorry,
Yeah.
cold weather gear.
Oh.
Warm
Cold
weather
weather,
gear is
okay.
just no clothes.
Yeah. You pull out no clothes.
Just swimsuits.
It's just pictures of
some-
nudes.
There's like Hawaii flower swimsuits, swim trunks in there. No. So you pull.
Okay, so there's like thick.
Yes.
coat. Okay.
Thick clothing. Sorry.
No, you're good.
I was thinking warm clothing and then
Yeah.
cold weather, and
No, you're good.
they came together.
In that case, just like remembering that like it's springtime, I want to use primeval awareness. So I'm just gonna sit in concentration for a minute, and it gives me within a 5-mile radius any of my favorite enemies. It like pings.
Is it any of your favorite enemies?
It's either of them.
I think that you have to pick one.
I think you do, but I thought that it
It
was.
says
for-
by okay, hold on. By spending
5
1 minute
miles.
in concentration, you can sense any of your favorite enemies within 5 miles of you. This reveals which of your favorite enemies are present, their numbers, and their general direction and distance from you.
I spit in your general direction.
If there are multiple groups of your favorite enemies within range, you learn this information for each group.
Damn.
That's
It's
pretty
like a broken.
nice.
dope.
Well,
But I mean,
Well,
you
rangers
haven't
are pretty
really
much
used it.
useless.
Oh yeah, because the times that I like
Yeah.
can use it, we find out that there's someone here because I have to concentrate for a whole minute. But usually by that time we've already engaged on them. So
Yeah. Okay, so what of your favorite enemies are you?
I have humanoids and fiends.
Right.
That giggle.
I forgot. Sorry. Okay. Anyway,
People and not people.
essentially, so you reach out and immediately pick up a presence from out in the main room of the watchtower that you just came from. There are other pings that you get from within 5 miles of just small
Yeah.
humanoids, but you do pick up a ping of a humanoid within the watchtower.
Is it moving? Oh, wait, I guess I should.
There's someone here.
Is someone there?
There's someone there.
something.
I know you.
Must be the wind. You hear from the other room.
He's got an arrow halfway through his face. Must be the wind.
Someone there? The wind hurts.
Someone carried the wind. The wind carried an arrow to my face.
I used to be a guard like you. Anyway,
So, in the main room,
The one
Let's
just
go
walked
take
the
a
one we just came from. Yes.
Take a
I'm
peek
gonna go
at him.
peek through the
I wanna
doorway.
look at it.
Yeah.
okay.
But like
Let me-
stealthily.
Oh wait, well, was there anything underneath the warm clothes again? Sorry.
There was a small amulet of like symbology that you've never seen before, made out of like bronze or like a metal, like a
Okay.
cheaper metal,
Have
basically.
I seen it before?
Make a history check.
Wait, I'm proficient in
I'm
history.
proficient in
Sure, make a history check.
Yay.
Can I detect
I'm gonna
thoughts in the meantime?
guidance myself.
Sure.
19.
I mean, you detect the same. There's a presence in the other room because you can detect through walls if there are other.
Can I know what it's? Do I know what
I think you have to be in visual sight to shift your that part of the ability.
I'm gonna click my boots together.
Plus,
19 for my history check.
I only got an 8.
19. It's of all the things that you've seen, like symbology being related to any type of historical records or places or things, you've never seen this symbol before.
Oh, this thing must be super rare.
It's kind of almost the shape of like a crest, almost like a shield. And there are like lines that go up the center and then curve into like two figure eights that branch off of like the T's, like the T of the lines as they split. And there's a small square in the middle that appears to be like silver, so different than the bronze. So it's like a little embed of silver itself. And then a scrawling of like just a couple different runes over the top of the T that you've never seen before.
These look important, and I'm gonna grab it.
Okay.
And put it in my bag.
So who goes and peers out into the...
I would like
I'm
to.
watching. I've been watching.
You said you were watching the archway. That's why I asked if you stepped out of that room, and you said you were watching the archway.
Well, after Seven said something about like
Yeah.
somebody's in the main
So
room.
you both...
I'm gonna go like
You both
stealthily
kind of step
peek
up, and
around
it's like
the
that
corner.
Scooby-Doo moment where two heads
Yeah,
kind of
yeah,
pop.
yeah. That's what I was
You-
thinking.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
No, you're good. So you peer from the archway back into the main watchtower, and you can see a hooded figure sat at one of the tables, just his hand on his face, and it's dark enough that the shadow kind of covers most of the face. And there's like a mug in his hand, and he
They definitely
turns
weren't-
to you all and just says, "Do you all seem the type of people to make a habit out of going through other people's personal belongings?"
Well, we
No,
didn't
I
know
don't.
anybody lived here.
Well, now you do.
Sorry.
Might as well come out then.
All right. I'll approach him.
Okay.
Same.
Same.
So you all exit out, and you see this figure standing there, and he puts the mug down and pulls back his hood. And you can see, ooh, Jesus, why does it do that? I hate this terrible act. So as he pulls back the hood, you can see the ears of an elf, so an elven man, who sits there with this smooth this smooth face that has this triangular jawline that, while smooth, still kind of comes down to like an angular point. He looks very young. His hair is this, where is it? This long, thick platinum hair with this one singular thick braid that comes down the front that's lined with all manner of these like rings that have the same runes as the pendant or the symbol that you picked up on them themselves. He has these orange cat-like eyes, not the same as Kaya's. They don't have that glow to them, but they are like an orange cat-like irises. Tan skin. He has these tattoos that come from his face that kind of come from a point at his jawline. They come down almost like a cursive line where there's like a point and then comes into a thicker line, and then they curl down up over like to behind his ears, basically like black ink. He wears this form-fit suit of what looks to be leather armor that's not made of leather armor, like not made of leather. This like form-fit suit of this dark
pleather
material.
I literally was writing pleather as you said that.
And he has the hood that was over his head. It like has a cloak that kind of comes down and like cuts halfway and just falls down over the right side of his back. And there is a quiver on his back that holds like a very intricate looking bow and these two hilts of daggers, or short swords, like elven short swords that come up. Think like Legolas's quiver, basically, that come up, and pulls his hood back and just says, "Well,
I just took
now you
else
find yourself here. What can I do for you all?
Oh.
If there's nothing I can do, I would politely ask that you leave my abode."
Oh, I am so sorry. We thought the place was abandoned, so you probably want this thing back. And I hand him back his medallion thing.
And takes it from you, not like viciously, but grabs it from you and gives a nod and just says, "As I asked before, do you all make an effort of going into places that are not yours and taking things that do not belong to you?"
Well, only if we know that they've been abandoned for a while. And this looked very abandoned. There was lots of dust around, so...
Apologies, let me rephrase. I was not asking for excuses. I was merely suggesting that this is probably something you should not make a habit of. Could get you into trouble. Yes?
Well, you're not wrong.
If you get caught.
If you get caught.
Mom just berated us.
What is your name?
I am Artanis.
Oh, my name is Dale. Nice to meet you, Artanis.
And gives a nod.
Why do you live out here in the middle of nowhere and a tower like that looks abandoned?
I have been in this tower for quite some time.
What do you do out here?
That is a loaded question.
Well, I mean, how do you keep yourself busy? There's nobody around. What if you need supplies like food?
There's plenty of wildlife around the area that's sufficient. And I keep myself plenty busy.
Are you from Methanol?
No, I am not from there. If you are at here, you might as well stay. It is dark out, and I have food. I'd be happy to share.
You're not going to kill us in the middle of the night, are you?
There are more dangerous things than
I
you
swear.
more dangerous things than you that lurk in this area.
Can we repay
You're not
you?
going to kill me in the middle of the night, are you?
Oh, no.
We don't.
I like to think that we're kind of nice.
Well,
We just,
you
you
make
know-
one question when you break into their home and steal their goods.
Well, we give them back.
You did,
And we only
and
stole
that
the
bodes
one
well
thing.
for you.
Just trying to make coin, you know?
As seems to be the major thing in this age.
Yep.
Can we help you with
Capitalism,
something
right?
for letting us stay in here?
I can't imagine that what I need help with is something you could assist, but
Well, we are the talented
You
seven.
would never-
We can do anything.
he gives a analytical look over all of you and says, I will admit you look like you may handle yourselves, but I still do not believe you can assist.
Well, try us. What have you got to lose?
Come, let us eat.
Okay.
I will prepare food. Make yourselves at home, if you already have not done so. He steps over to the kind of kitchen-like area, and there's like an open stove, essentially, where he lights a fire and pulls a pot over it and starts to boil some type of liquid, and you can see him go over to one of the cabinets in the area and pull like what looks to be some type of meat that is hanging in the cabinet itself, and pulls it and pulls a knife off of one of the counters and starts to cut it and dice it into cubes and methodically put it into what appears to be like a stew that he's preparing.
I'm going
Is
to.
there-
Oh, sorry. I was just gonna quick cast detect evil and good when he wasn't looking.
Okay. You don't detect any. I don't know why I always forget what that spell.
Because it's not intuitive.
Aberrations,
I know.
celestials, fae, fiends.
That's why it throws me off because it's like it just tells you.
Can you see when you do that?
Yeah, just fine.
You don't detect any of those things.
Dope.
I was gonna. Is there a broom anywhere?
A broom.
Yep.
Make a perception check.
If only we had
Prestidigitation.
it.
13.
13. Yeah, there's a broom off to the side.
I'm just gonna go grab the broom and start sweeping up all the dust.
Okay.
Is there anything that we could do to assist you?
And he, as he's cutting, just says, "No, you are my guests. It is custom for me to. Please, just relax. There is some ale, if you would like." And he gestures, and you can see there's like a cask that's sat over in a corner, and like some old dusty like goblets and mugs that are just like tipped over and kind of scattered across the top of it.
I'll wash out one with shape water, and then I'll be like, "But you make sure that it's not poisonous."
I'll try it.
Make a Constitution save. No, I'm just kidding. Don't do that. It's fine. You take a sip, and it's like a really strong, like dwarven mead. There's a bite to it, but there's also a sweetness that like it's an immediate strong, and you kind of pucker your face a little bit, but then the after effect kind of smooths out on your tongue, almost like honey, and like feels that kind of thicker, viscous down like. Feeling as it goes down the back of your throat, and it's good. It's
delicious.
You can taste that it's alcoholic.
Thank you.
But no, it's good. In
Yeah,
your expertise.
I'm not dying, I think. So try it.
I'll
Have
take
some.
one.
I do
as-
not take purified food.
As
into
Artanis
today.
is cutting, without looking, he just says, "You all are a suspicious bunch. You believe someone, after breaking into their home, would decide to poison you. I must admit, you think similarly to myself, which is why I'm here.
Somebody tried to poison you after you broke into the home?
Once upon a time. Not as of recent, but
I just tried to
it
poison
has
myself,
happened
so
before.
I mean, does he have like daggers on his hips? Like, does he seem like a roguish
They're on
type?
in his quiver. Like Legolas
daggers,
is
they're
like
not
they're like
like-
short
they're not-
swords.
Oh, they're short swords.
They're like half short swords. They're like quarter swords.
Yeah.
He shoots daggers out of his bow.
A dagger crossbow.
Can I ask
That's
you?
a fun magic item.
I know this might be a weird question.
I
or-
believe I've heard
It's Artanis, right? Artanis.
heard plenty of weird question in my time. Please.
Tannis?
Does the name
Stops
Sienadel mean anything to you?
Sienna Bell?
Sienadel or Moonbrook?
He thinks for a second and just over his shoulder says, "Can't say I've heard the name before. It sounds Elven,
I was just wondering.
current Elven."
You remind me of somebody.
And just keeps cutting.
What is that medallion that you have? I never seen anything like that before.
It is a remnant from a lifelong past.
Wait, would I reckon? Wait, what's the symbol on it?
I don't think you saw it when well, you were there as they were pulling stuff out. You didn't recognize anything either. And you've seen, well, make an intelligence check for me. It's not a high DC, but I don't want to just give you.
19.
Yeah. You've seen Elven before. The runes on it almost had like intricacies to them that looked like the Elven language that you've seen from Alar and like kind of learned from that, but it was different. Like it wasn't, you couldn't like decipher what it was, but it had certain characteristics of Elven writing to it.
Like kind of like Latin or something, like in that like regard where it's something you
Older.
recognize. Okay.
Have you lived long time?
What'd you say?
Have you lived a long time?
Yes.
Oh, that's cool.
You don't look very old.
Yes.
An elf.
Have you ever been
Well-
to the Feywilds?
Been to? No.
What's your
Encountered
favorite
things
color?
from there? Yes.
Yeah.
Cerulean.
Me too. That's Katrina talking.
Do you have
Also, you had that way too fast.
Do you have question for us?
What brings a group of 6 so far into the wilds to an ancient watchtower?
We're heading to Methanol, and we're trying to get to the giant spine.
And what business do you have in those mountains?
Well, we're trying to save somebody.
This is honorable business, depending on who you are saving and why.
A friend.
Again, who you are saving also depends on how this plays out.
Well, from what we can tell, he's a good person.
Well, then hopefully that makes you all good people. Though I don't know if there's really a good in the current spectrum of morality, but
It's difficult to tell.
yes, it has appeared that way for quite some time.
Are you from here? Like this area? Or are you from somewhere else?
No, I'm not from here, but I have been here
Wait, if
a long
you
time.
if you live long time, do you recognize this mark on my face? I'm gonna take off my
He
helmet.
stops
Sure.
cutting and turns and for a moment just stares at you and kind of squints. And just goes, looks into your eye, and it seems to stir something in my memory, but from long enough ago I cannot pinpoint it. Were you born with this?
I was born with it.
Maybe it's Maybelline.
I can't give you any specifics, no, but it does strike something in my memories.
Okay, I'm just trying to find where it came from so that I can search for my true self.
And tell me, what does this mark have to do with any of your true self?
I don't know. There's just so much going on with people telling me I'm one thing and that some of my strength come from another thing, and I just don't really know. So I try to find answers, but no one I know has ever seen this mark before.
Well, if there's one thing I've learned in all my years, is who you are does not come from your surroundings or how other people view things. It comes from here. And he touches your forehead. He says it comes from here. And he touches your heart.
Oh,
Nothing more, nothing less.
okay. Well, I appreciate that.
He turns and goes back and continues pulling like veggies and stuff out and cutting and putting them into the pot.
Have you ever
Like you go first.
Have you ever heard of a woman named Callista?
I've not heard this name before. And so many questions about knowing people. You all seem to be looking for so many.
Well, we're new to the area.
It doesn't hurt to ask somebody.
You
This is
never
true.
know who might know.
And if you've been here for so long, you know it better than most, I suppose.
I know the area, the people not so much.
Is there any dangers in this area that we should know of?
The area itself is dangerous. There are dangers that lurk everywhere.
What about those wolves? We keep seeing wolves that follow us from like the trees.
It's been a little bit. It's been like a day. So.
There are
But it's been reoccurring.
plenty of wolf packs and dire wolves that
Yeah, but they have
roam the
like
plains.
painting markings on them.
This sounds to me like a druidic tribe.
Yeah, they are.
They're orcs.
Well, then most certainly druidic in nature. I can't tell you much more than that. If you most likely know more than I do, I tend to stick to this area and around here for quite some time.
Okay.
Are you lonely?
I wouldn't say so, no.
Oh, good.
It is
That's good to hear.
nice to have company, but it is of no consequence to me to be alone.
Fair enough.
I have spent most of my life this way.
Why?
Insight check. Is he actually lonely?
Make an insight check.
He has 5 different Tinder accounts.
25.
25.
Nimwe's
He
available.
seems quite content with and very truthful behind what he said. Just
To me IRL.
in silence. It's cutting.
Well,
Oh, I guess we should take seat and wait for dinner.
Do you mind if I have a look around?
Suit
I won't
yourself.
take anything, I promise.
I have nothing to hide and nothing of much value anymore.
Oh, anymore? Why? What happened?
Divorce.
Nothing happened. Time passes and you lose connection to material things. They are but trinkets and I do not require them.
Oh, I want to take a look around with you, Nix.
Well, I'm going to go look around now.
Okay, I come too.
do you know anything about the giant spine mountains?
From what I remember, they possess all manner of creatures, as does the wildlands themselves. Is there something specific you look for?
No.
Make a deception check.
That's a 14.
All right, then, keep your secrets. But if you wish for this exchange of dialogue to go both ways in places of truth, I suggest that you be truthful in your answers as well.
Well, it's not really important, and there's some things that I don't wish to share with you just in case you aren't as trustworthy as I'd like for you to be.
Suit yourself. It's of no consequence to me, but if you require these answers that you look for, I may be able to shed light on them.
We're looking for the behemoth's belly. Do you know anything about that?
You say this and he stops cutting. And slowly starts back up again without turning over to you, just says, "This behemoth's belly. Why do you intend to go there?"
There's a guy there. He's going to take me to this place I got to go. I need to find him.
Is this by chance the one you look to rescue, to save? And why did he find himself there?
I don't know. There's like a workshop or something. Cool stuff.
His notes didn't really specify exactly why he was going there, more that he was just interested in it.
And stops cutting again and delicately sets the knife down and turns back to you all and says, "I would not recommend stepping anywhere near this body of the behemoth. This workshop, it is magics that are outside of your realm of understanding, outside of my realm of understanding. They come from an age long past and are not worth trifling with."
Well, we're not really there to trifle with any of the powers that may lay there. It's more about saving this man so that way he might give us some answers that we are seeking.
You misunderstand me. If your friend has gone here, he has already trifled with this power. And if you intend to go there to save him, yourselves will be tangled up in whatever it is that he has started. I would assume if he requires rescuing that something has happened to him. I cannot tell you what to do, and if this is your chosen path, then I send my blessing with you. I can only give you the information that I know. And it is a dangerous place. And
Have you
turns
been
back
there?
around and picks up the knife.
Have you been there?
Not myself, but I heard many tales of it.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to go. Well, at least I am.
We don't really have a choice.
So,
And just
if you
Keeps
know
cutting.
anything else, please let us know.
just a slight nod and keeps cutting. Nix and Taylor, you're just looking
How many
around.
fucking vegetables this guy?
Yeah.
He's not cutting fast. It's like,
Oh, okay.
I want to go to that.
and
Which
there's
one?
6 of you and him, so he's making a lot of stew.
I want to just try and get, without of earshot from him, but I'm also curious with that door, that locked door that we found. So I want to go through that and just see what's in there, and then I'll do something.
Okay. Well, I mean, the door is locked.
I'll check it for traps, then cast Mage Hand, unlock it.
Investigation check.
22.
Okay. No traps.
I will inspire you, Nix.
I feel so inspired.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
working. Oh my
Okay, cool.
god.
Bard,
There.
paladin, sword.
Let
18.
me use my
18.
guidance.
Easily, your mage hand floats there again and unlocks the door.
Human sword.
Okay. What's inside?
You walk in and you can see what appears to be like a rudimentary enchanting setup. There are like books with arcane runes and languages. There are like different
see any
metal
that-
instruments, and there are a couple like on the counter themselves, a couple of like what looks to be teeth that are like two of them on the counter, and then up in jars themselves there are more teeth that are labeled with different markings in that same slightly elven runic language on
Are
them.
there any books that look like that language too, that might have a language that explains it that I can understand? Because I do know Elvish.
Make a investigation check for like what's on the counter.
18.
18. There's a couple of books that are there, and looking through them, they're all in this language, and they all like the bindings on a couple of them are falling apart and seem ancient. Like some of the pages are like darkened with so much age that it's hard to believe that they're still whole and like holding up. But it's all written in that language, and there's nothing that you can translate out of it.
Is there? What do the teeth look like they came from?
Make a nature check.
That's bad. It's less than 10, so probably nothing. That's a 6.
I mean, you're not
worse.
sure, but they're big, like curved teeth.
Do these look like some dragon things to you?
Do they look like some dragon things to me?
Make a nature check.
12.
They look like dragon's teeth.
I'm gonna touch them.
Okay, you touch one of the ones on the table. Nothing happens.
Okay. Maybe he will let me have a dragon tooth.
You should definitely ask first, because I think you'll just know if you try
I
to
know.
take one.
I will ask him. They're in jars, right? Was that always... Are they like labeled? Okay, we don't know.
They're labeled, but you don't. Yeah.
Can't read it.
I'm gonna use my sending stone to Alar, and I'm just gonna say, have you ever met an elf named Artanis? Also, how have you been? What you been up to? Miss you.
There's a response back, and he just says, no, I've never met an Artanis. Been good dealing with normal shit. Miss you too, Namira.
Cute.
Okay.
I can't wait till tomorrow. Is there any other place that looks like we could go to that we haven't been yet?
No.
All right.
I'm gonna go down to Artanis and ask him something.
Okay.
Real quick.
I'll return
though,
as well.
I want to see if his feet are leaving tracks in the dust on the floor.
Make a perception check.
Oh, that's clever.
Guidance. Fuck me. Math.
13. Not that you can see.
It's not. Oh shit. Okay. Is his form like flickering at all?
No.
You should try to pass a hand through him.
When I detected his thoughts earlier, what were they like?
Well, you.
It was right when we first met him.
Oh. His mind was very calm. like a trained, learned, calm, and like processing and just focused, basically.
When I like detect someone's thoughts, like Tails or Nix's, can I tell it's like their mind and their personality kind of thing?
That's a good question. I don't know. Let me look. I'm kind of curious about answering that. I just want to read this spell. One creature that you can see.
So yeah. What's so funny?
My notes.
What's it say?
It says Liamon's tiny tower, a good name for a dick.
yeah. Yeah, I remember that.
Love it.
I mean, sure. I'd say that you could tell, like, if you've done it enough and kind of have like know the thought patterns of a mind, you'd be able to, like, say you were in a different room and you were detecting thoughts, you'd be able to kind of go like detect the presence of like Nyx or Nimue in another room. But I mean, I wouldn't say
I would have
that
to be like
just
familiar
I wouldn't
with
say
the
that just
person.
detecting a thought would give you that ability.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So, Tail, you come down,
Yeah.
or what were you doing?
I was detecting his
That's just doing that.
footsteps, yeah.
Hey, Artanis,
Yes.
you have gold dragon teeth in your house.
Another door that was locked. It appears you have stepped into, but I did say that you were free
I
to
did
look as you
ask
pleased.
first.
You did.
What is this language you write in?
It is the language that I know, that I grew up writing.
Oh, that far. Are they
He's
like
that fucking.
jars from different type of dragons?
They are teeth from different type of dragons.
Do you know? Wait.
Nick
why do you
steps out and seems really shocked, and he kind of turns, just cocks his head at you.
Why do you? Do you have a thing against dragons?
No, they are wonderfully magical creatures. These teeth were given willingly.
How?
Oh, you
Do
are.
you know Yidris?
Idris.
Bronze dragon, dead cairn.
The name does not sound familiar, but I may have
Tender
known,
of the sea.
I may
Tots.
have known this creature
Tuna.
at some point in time in my history. I know that you're saying that there is a dragon still.
Oh, yeah, and
He's-
we are friend with him.
Yes.
It is good to know that these creatures are still abound.
He's been poisoned.
And we are trying to find way to cure him too.
Do you know how to do that?
It's keeping
I
him
know
from
that-
changing into his dragon form.
I know that poisoning a creature of their power and ability is not easy to do. I'm not sure I can think on this.
Do you know of the type of person that could, like, how powerful and, like, what kind of person would be able to wield that sort of power?
I would say any person could do this if they possess the right knowledge. And this knowledge should not exist anymore.
Anymore? Did it exist once?
It existed at one time, but it should have been eradicated.
So this poison has existed before.
I'm not sure of what poison it is, but these methods of harming these creatures should have been.
I remember the more like the symptoms that he was going through, right?
Mhm.
They're probably somewhere in my notes, but can I describe them to him?
Yeah, the black veins and.
Yeah.
Yeah. He thinks for a second. Says, I have heard tales of this
Yes.
poison before.
Yes. Hell yeah.
I do not recall its name. Time has eluded that from me, but I know that it is required very, very potent cures to rid it of this.
Do you know of where we could find a cure?
On this realm, nowhere.
On which realm would we?
This world, this plane.
Which plane? could we possibly find
I'm not
still?
sure, but you can't find it here.
You showed us Mother, right? And that, so we know what she looks like now.
I don't know if you. Well, she did.
never-
Yeah,
She did.
Kaya did.
I didn't.
You couldn't.
No.
Kaya showed you Mother.
Oh, I want to do something, but I feel it's really stupid.
What type of dragon
Oh, I
teeth
wouldn't
are
dare try
these?
that.
They are teeth from a lot of the ancient elder ones that possess different elements I use for enchanting.
You're an
You
enchanter?
must, rudimentary, a little bit. You must all be in. To speak of dragonkin and any of this, how. And as he mid sentence, there's kind of like a shake, and the pot shifts and splashes, and he stops, and his eyes go wide, and his eyes turn up to the top of the tower. It appears I may have to ask for your assistance after all. Come. And he turns, leaves the pot, and walks out the door.
Is he leaving footsteps?
No.
Oh,
Do you follow?
yeah, I follow. I want these dragon teeth, baby. I'm following him.
Yeah. I will follow you to the ends of the world.
He leads you out,
Dragon teeth.
out of the tower and up a narrow path that starts to curve up the side of the watchtower to the very top and leads you to the top of this watchtower. And as you get up there, you can see a lot of it rubble and fallen into disarray. There are these 4 prongs in the center, almost like these metallic prongs that come up and come over to the center, like angle into the center above this circular area. And in the center of the circular area, you can see like a rift, like a gash in the material plane itself. And as you start to approach, you can see little streaks of like red energy jutting out of them and kind of being contained in the area around these prongs. He says, "We've not had an incursion here for quite some time, but in recent days there have been many attempted break-ins from creatures from this realm.
Which realm?
The Abyss.
Oh, fuck.
For some reason, demons have some type of interest in this plane, and I will have to fill you in more later, but for now I'm going to require your assistance." And as he says this, there's like the realm starts to tear and open, and figures start to emerge from it.
Oh.
And we're going to pick up there next week.
Oh my god.
Holy shit.
Hollows.
Thanks for listening, everybody. Hope you enjoyed our slight travel, slight
RP heavy.
lore drop, RP heavy stuff. We'll come in next week. I was hoping we got to combat today, but that's okay.
Hey, Goof, what can
I
we
still
do?
I don't know how combat's going to go with the 6 of us, so I'm excited to see that. But we'll get into it next week and see how that goes. Thank you, everybody. We hope you have a wonderful rest of your week. Always remember that the friends who crit together stick together, and we will talk to you soon. Goodbye. Thanks again for listening to this week's episode of Crit Seekers. If you're still craving more from the gang, give us a follow on social media. Our Instagram and Twitter handles are @CritSeekers. There you'll find memes, character art, audio clips, and more to keep you satisfied until next episode. If you've enjoyed everything you've heard so far, please do us a huge favor and head on over to podchaser.com and give us a review. It will really help us out. New episodes are posted every Monday at 6 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. Enjoy your week, and remember, friends who crit together, stick together.